done it? I don't keep track.
I did it last week.
I feel like who did Conrad did it last week, so I feel like it's got to be either Gwen, but she's like dying. So Mel, have you done it recently?
No, it's gonna be my usual shitty
That's fine.
piecemeal.
Go for
Um,
shitty.
oh god, I might be mixing up games. Fuck. We were at the Grove with the unicorn, not unicorn, antlered people. They gave us some information about the tower. They promised to take us to the tower because we would not be dissuaded otherwise. There was a lot of attempts at dissuasion and some more dissension within the group about proper course of actions when dealing with foes. Um, we also ran into, I want to call him Sam, and I don't think that was his name. Was that his name?
It
That was
was
towards the
actually.
end, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, towards the end, we had a big argument about that, which is more kind of where my mind connection is, as far as like treating people and what have you. Um, so yeah, so we ended up running into him at the end. We got to the outskirts of the tower. We saw our first crow. I'm missing a huge chunk in the middle, and I don't know why.
There was a lot of
Oh, we
combat.
fought. Yeah,
fought bullywugs.
yeah. That's what I knew. We fought frog people. That's why I feel like I'm missing a lot. And
The darklings that were in the trees.
yep, yeah. There was a lot of combat. That's probably why I feel like I'm missing a lot. So, and now we're at the outskirts of the tower, and trying to figure out what the fuck we're gonna do from here.
Okay. Anyone else have anything they want to add to that?
The only thing I think of consequence that I would add is I think we were attempting to stealth on the tower, and Tahira started crying.
Oh
Because
yeah.
she's a really awesome guide, and the crow kind of looked immediately in our direction.
You are 1,000% right. I'm so sorry I forgot that.
But I do think
Did
that
I crit fail myself too?
I don't recall. Like I do remember the crow looking in your general direction, but I don't think that it had seen you yet. I feel like that was. Let's see. You guys took a short rest. Oh no, because you didn't roll for stealth at the end there, did you? No.
No, we didn't. Huh?
No, we had crept up on it.
Yeah.
Basically, we reached the tower. There were these canine beasts roving around, more elves. Then the door opened, the crow came out, and then there's like a night guy that kept changing appearances. And
Yeah.
that's when Tahira just lost her shit and started crying.
Yeah, something about seeing that night kind of spooked Tahira. She's not handling that too well. So yeah, you guys are right on the edge of this kind of wide opening. You know, as I described last week, I think this area seems a bit darker than what you've seen, and the jungle was already dark in and of itself. You are seeing a number of creatures and semi-humanoids that seem to be kind of patrolling around the tower. You did see that knight who appeared to be changing colors, and the crow, who seems to have been, his attention has been drawn in your general direction. Anything else anyone feels like is relevant that we might have missed? Going once?
No, I think that sounds about right.
Okay. All right, so yeah, you guys are on the edge of the tower. What do you do?
Well, first things first, trying to quiet Tahira.
Okay. How are you trying to do that?
I want to say that she put her hands over her face and started to cry, right? Or is that just my the way I envisioned it? But otherwise, it just kind of like they cover her mouth, shh, 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 and try and like pull her back a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, she does seem genuinely like afraid and spooked about whatever this is. So what is everyone else doing?
Stealthing?
Keeping an eye on that knight specifically, because that's what we saw made her cry. I think, yeah.
I mean, it seems fair to say, sure.
once she settles down, I'd like to ask her, you know, what is it? What? Shh, but what is it?
And she's like shaking her head very quickly back and forth. It's like, it's a thing from stories. It's not real. It's not real.
This entire place has been from stories. You've said that the entire time. We're here. It's real. What is it? Because if it comes this way, we need to be ready.
It's well, it's not right. It's supposed to be the three of them, the knights. They belong to her. They're horsemen.
Tell it to me like I am a child. Tell me the story. There's 3 horsemen. And who do they belong to?
And like she kind of looks up at Aglaya, the Al Said, the kind of deer lady with the antlers, and Aglaya just kind of has I don't want to say a blank look, like she's surprised that the elf is having this response, like that it seems so like unnatural, and Tahira says, Baba Yaga, you don't know?
Do I know any stories of Baba Yaga?
I can't imagine that you would. I would probably let Giselle make a roll.
I would
reason I asked
totally
is-
love to make a roll.
Yeah, because I was kind of
Well, it's
hanging out among the
specifically,
nobility.
yeah, it's also pretty specific to elves that they might
Okay.
have.
Would that be Arcana or History?
I would say history because you're trying to remember. Nice. So, what? Like, I can only imagine that Giselle, you found this in some sort of book, probably like
Probably one of my mom's books.
one
yeah.
of your mother's notebooks or something. There was some screed in her book about some like limited research she had done about this, about lore and history and especially as it relates to elves. Baba Yaga is said to be basically like old Fey folklore, like that she's evil Fey, like very dark, powerful magic Fey.
Unseelie then.
Not necessarily though. What you do know specifically as regards the knights is that they are 3 of her most faithful servants. But they're, like I said, there's said to be 3 of them, the horsemen. There's the white, the red, and the black horsemen. And also what you would know is that they're not supposed to exist all at once. Only one of them can walk at a time. The red sun is basically dawn in the morning. The black horseman is night for obviously dark midnight. And then the white horseman is noon, basically at high noon. Whatever you're seeing here obviously violates that in a really profound way. But they're not supposed to be able to exist at any given time. One rises to set at all times. But the horsemen are a servant of Baba Yaga, and sometimes rather than being referred to as their colors, they're simply referred to as bright day, red sun, and black night. They are her warriors, her scouts.
'Tis but a flesh wound.
Yeah, it's definitely not that. Yeah, so I think that's what you know. But it is a thing to be feared.
She's definitely right. That's really wrong.
Did you share the whole kind of myth with us?
Yeah, she'd share that with you.
Okay, so there's been a lot of things wrong in the world recently. This is just another symptom. And apparently, it's not just our world, but the Fae.
That's impossible, though.
Clearly not.
Do you think they've been combined somehow?
Well, it is shifting. There is only technically one at a time.
Technically, that would mean they all inhabit the same body.
Not sure if this would be an Arcana check or maybe nature. You said it's gotten darker as we got closer to the tower, where usually we were in kind of a perpetual dusk. I don't suppose I could try and make some connection there, as if maybe this alternative time of day that has taken over the realm near the tower is maybe what's affecting this combined creature.
You could
Really far-fetched, I know.
You could give me an Arcana check. Yeah, I mean it's hard to say. That's one conclusion to make. It's not entirely impossible to think such a thing. You don't really know enough about the Fae or the origin of the Horseman or Baba Yaga herself to know if it's entirely accurate, but it is theoretically possible.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got the impossible before us already. Now we have just another complication. Tahira, is this tower, or actually Aglaya, is that who's in this tower? Baba Yaga?
And Tahira just looks, her face is just blank. Like she begins to speak, but then nothing comes out. Aglaya says, I don't believe so. She is said to be everywhere and nowhere. And she kind of like makes this gesture like she's trying to shrug. It's possible, but Baba Yaga does not need this much protection. She is a force in her own right.
Why would her horseman be here, though?
Aglaya just shrugs.
I'm sorry, did we... was through Giselle's tale, is Baba Yaga evil? Like an evil force?
I mean, that's how Tahira referenced her.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if the lore that Giselle had would counter that.
It's I don't know if there's necessarily like a straightforward answer to that. She does. It's said that, you know, and Giselle would know that it's said that Baba Yaga would rule over the great ley line magic. She can't be everywhere at once, which is why she has the horseman. Some of her actions could be determined to be evil, others not as much. Again, it's more about, you know, subjective
She sounds
opinion.
more neutral.
So, if her horsemen are here, but this isn't her domain, her place of being, maybe she's been corrupted or something's happened to her. There's another force that controls the horsemen.
Or she's working with this Eladrin.
Right. Ancient elven things.
Yeah.
Okay. Think.
Meanwhile, you guys are watching as things are still moving around the tower, and you've kind of tried to move back a few feet into the jungle to get more cover. You're still seeing things move around. You're still seeing more of the wisps that are moving back and forth from the tower. And this just seems to be like a repeating pattern. The patrol around the tower, the wisps coming and going.
Do the wisps seem to be doing anything besides just coming and going?
At the moment, no.
Are there entryways the wisps are going through? Or are they just kind of like going into the tower through any wall they want? Or I don't remember.
No, mostly what they do is they actually climb the tower. They go to the kind of spire at the top.
Okay. And the hounds are just kind of like patrolling.
Mm-hmm.
They have a kind of standard patrol route. They're kind of going on around the tower.
Seems to
As
be
we
that way.
watch, we see that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way to get an exact count on how many people are outside? How many things?
You could give me a perception check, Gabriel.
Can I give him?
I don't
Doesn't
think
he
you're
Can
gonna need it.
I give him help? But,
So
yeah.
it's at any given time, it's hard to tell. You have to kind of track for a few minutes, to make sure you're getting an accurate count. You do see 2 of these large hounds. You do see the storm crow. You do see the knight at the door to the tower. You also see. You kind of didn't notice it at first, but you do see that on the tower itself, there appears to be occasionally these, like, they look like small sparks or crackles of lightning, and they just kind of pop into existence for a moment, and you could swear that you see like a little person, like blue skin, silvery purple hair, and then it just sort of disperses again in lightning and moves away. You see this a number of times.
Does it look familiar?
I don't know. I don't know if you actually saw this before. And you see the wisps. There's a number of wisps that are moving back and forth. But that's right now. That's what you can see outside of the tower.
Yeah. As quietly as possible, I would point this out to everyone else.
Okay.
I get the feeling the night's not something we want to take head on.
Probably not.
I don't think we want to take any of this head on if we can avoid it.
Yeah, that'll only bring more.
If there's a way for us to maybe draw some of them in, and we could quickly dispatch them quietly, maybe that's something worth looking into.
The only other option I can think of is to hide in plain sight.
Makes them think we're one of them.
I mean, I've seen the Eladrin at this point. I
I'm
can
worried about the hounds.
scent. Right.
So what are you guys doing?
We could try and lead them away.
Wait. This is a scouting mission. We're not looking to infiltrate. We know you have allies looking at Aglaya that are captive. Not necessarily here, but nearby. Correct?
I believe they're being held in the tower. The captives? I think they are here. Why would they be elsewhere?
Why did I want to say there was supposed to be a village or something nearby? That we thought the captives were at. Because we were going to get the captives sent to here to get elven allies before attacking the tower directly.
Well, I mean, Tahir, like, are you talking about like Tahira's village, the one you first entered?
No, I might be mixing something up here. It's very possible. Sorry.
It's okay.
I could make myself look like one of those crow things. Pretend you're prisoners.
That was my thought, but again, the dogs are going to be what gives us away. I mean, dogs and
Well,
stuff.
alter self is a little bit more powerful than illusions.
I kind of look at you confusedly.
I can actually change my body.
Oh. Well. That's an option.
Another option, and it's would be probably a huge risk. But if Yinkin can get in as a spider,
Not a bad idea.
I was debating it. It was getting out that I was worried about.
it's yeah, or I mean, hopefully no one would take notice of a spider, but if someone decided to step on you, then all of a sudden you're back to your form. Is that how it works?
Yeah. I think that's how it worked with the one time I got hit really hard. So
So that would either be the end of Yinkin or a mad attack to save him.
I'm willing to give it a try if it's what we need to do.
Or we do both.
It could be possible.
I can make the spider invisible, so no one would have to think to step on it. He'd just have to watch where he crawls. I can give you an hour.
That is a good idea.
Find another entrance, find something less guarded. We can sit here, watch guard rotation, something to that effect. Try and find some kind of pattern and hope we're not discovered. Will you go in?
It's still better than what I've got. So
You can even be something slightly larger than a spider if you're going to be invisible, as long as you're very careful. You'll still be able to touch things, things will still feel you.
Are there
But-
any windows or arrow slits or anything in the tower construction? Like it's like an opening from outside that you can get up above the door. Is it just the door and then a smooth tower all the way to the top?
Are you muted, John?
Yes, I was. I don't think it would have arrow slits. It's not. They wouldn't need to defend it like that.
Mhm.
There is, at least from what you've been told, there's supposed to be a beacon at the top of the tower, which might indicate something to you. There might be a way in that way. But yeah, the spire itself is, if they're going to defend it, they don't really need to shoot arrows from.
I figured they wouldn't, but I'm just thinking probably the only type of towers that I've seen are the ones, on the outer wall or the inner wall that have the arrow slits to defend. And
Yeah.
Where's Rapunzel when you need her?
uh,
Okay. So what is the plan here? Are you sending Yinkin invisibly?
Sounds like that.
Okay. Yinkin, what are you shape-shifting into?
something with a climb speed, but hopefully a little bit faster than a spider. So I'm going to ask this because I don't have a clue. Would a squirrel have a climb speed?
I think the issue there is it would for trees, but this is like a very flat tower. Like there's no
What about
little.
like a newt or a gecko or something, lizard.
I don't think I would have seen. Well, actually, we did pass through a rainforest, so maybe.
Yeah.
Lizards can move pretty fast when they need to and can climb things.
Pretty
I
sure
think
there's
it's
not a
probably
stat block for a newt.
Probably not, but
There's
I mean,
fire newts, but that doesn't help us here.
Once it's decided, it'll be assumed I turn him invisible. I need to go close windows. It's raining.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Spider might be the easiest because if you get inside, you could climb on the walls and the ceiling. Wouldn't get
Yeah.
stepped on accidentally.
Yeah, you
Spider
could.
will definitely be the least noticed out of anything.
Yeah, I mean, you could turn into a lizard, which is a tiny beast, which does have a speed of 20 for regular speed and climbing speed. Um, and I would constitute like a newt or something like that. A spider would be also tiny, same thing, 2020. So it's basically your call.
Yeah, no, let's go with the spider.
Okay. So
I know that can crawl on walls.
yeah, so you all watch as Yinkin transforms into a tiny little creepy looking spider. And then
Giselle shudders.
Again, I still wonder where the rest of him goes.
Marcus is just like bent over with his finger to his chin, like, where does he go? Faith turns you invisible. She casts invisibility on you.
And I start making my way.
All right.
Good luck.
Yeah, so you begin to, I don't know, I don't want to say a spider walks, but I guess that's what it does technically. You begin to move.
Scurries.
Yeah, I was going to say scuttles, but it definitely doesn't scuttle. But yeah, you begin to move in the direction of the tower. You see all these patrols moving. You have to, like, for a moment, you see one of these massive hounds, and it looks, I mean, they are normally huge to you. As a spider, though, the thing is enormous. Like, it is probably mechanically gargantuan because you are tiny. And you sort of have to, like, wait as the thing passes and the ground starts to shake as its massive paws. I'm sorry, they're large, not huge. Excuse me. Wow, really? Oh. Their paws begin slamming into the ground, and you have to kind of wait as the ground begins to vibrate under you. You wait for the one to pass, and you kind of move, maneuver in the direction of the tower. You kind of look up and you see the crow, and even up close, you can't like see under its mask. Like you can see the beak that extends out from the cloak, but like the hood, you can't actually see its eyes or its face. And you do kind of see the knight in the distance just standing there. And you begin to ascend the spire on the outside. As you do so, as you're kind of climbing up the tower, you begin to hear what distinctly sounds like crackling. And it gets louder the higher you go. And as you're up maybe 30 or 40 feet, you see this creature just sort of appear. The air kind of crackles and it gets hot. And you suddenly see this creature, this blue-skinned, like pointed ears, this like purpley silver hair just stop. And you see that it appears to be observing out, and it's looking into the jungle, and it seems to be observing its surroundings. And you can see as like little sparks are like coming off of the thing. And suddenly it just like, again, crackles and then disappears on the spire. This happens a few times as you are making your way up. You continue. You're seeing more of the wisps that are moving toward the tower in and out. And it takes you a good, like, 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes to get to the top of the spire because it's so tall and you're so small.
Mm-hmm.
Just maneuvering between the hounds and then getting up. I mean, it's a time-consuming process. So, yeah, you finally reach the top. And it does kind of come to a peak, and there's this sort of copper-looking or gold-looking kind of peak to this tower. At first glance, it's hard because you're so small, but it does appear to be kind of sitting on a kind of mechanism, the peak, and there are these like slits that you can move down to get into the tower. And
Okay.
you end up in this very small, narrow room that appears to have, there is what looks like a crystal kind of hanging from the center of it. You being so small, it's fairly large. I mean, 2-3 hands. It's pretty good in size, and it appears to be attached to this top peak thing, this golden, spiral thing. And there does appear to be a ladder that makes its way down into the tower.
Okay, then.
Are you just descending?
Yeah, I'm staying as a spider, and I got 2 hours as a spider, so
Okay. So yeah, you descend down. You find yourself first in a room that looks like it kind of looks like a bedroom. Um, but you would gather that, assuming that um, someone would stay in this room and it would basically be their job to basically put the beacon on because they're right next to it. They have the ladder right there. It's not like a super comfortable room. There appears to be a bed, a small rug, like a small kind of writing desk. Nothing terribly fancy. But it's clean, it's warm, and it's not like overly warm like the rest of the jungle. It's just, a decently comfortable room. You do find here, though, rather than there being a ladder, there's like a narrow set of steps that appears to go down.
continue down.
You find yourself, and again, obviously, the spire gets larger as you go down because that's what spires do. In the next kind of floor, as it were, you actually find what looks like a kind of group room. There are beds here, but you're clearly closer to the bottom of the tower, or closer to it. There's a couple beds. There's actually a couple foot lockers, what look like small shelves. Again, like a writing desk or two. And there appears to be kind of a desk, or a table rather, that sort of sits in the center of the room with a couple chairs where people might play cards or eat or, what have you. And again, there's more stairs. These ones get a little wider, not as narrow as before. And you head down there. Here you find it's just more living quarters, but this time you see there's like cooking implementation, a kind of like small place where you would make a fire with a kettle over top, or a pot for soup or stews, or you see some storage. There's no food here. Like you can kind of smell that some of the food may be rotted, or there's like a lingering scent here. But clearly no one's been living here. At least it doesn't look that way in some time. There's, a couple stools, a bench or two, just again for people to kind of gather. Here there's actually, it looks like a communal kind of like, more of a communal area just as above. You actually have a couple bookshelves here. And there does appear to be a couple desks where someone clearly has spent time writing. On top, you can see that there's like papyrus, a couple quills and ink. But basically more of the same. And
Any unfinished documents lying on a desk?
Give me an investigation check. I don't know how this will work as a spider.
I keep my mental facilities, so facilities.
Facilities?
Yeah,
sure.
I can't speak.
So you rolled an 18 on facilities. Oh, you have dark vision too.
Yep.
So yeah, actually, you do find a piece of writing on top of the desk. It appears to be almost completed, but you can even see on the last line as the ink, as someone was writing, it almost looks like the ink trailed off, like something grabbed their attention elsewhere. You speak Elvish. You're an elf, so you can actually read it because it is in fact written in Elvish. It says something to the effect of, "We're continuing the investigation into the strangeness surrounding our lands. The investigation continues. Reports are coming in." Oh, actually, I think I have names for these places. Hold on. Sorry, my Google Doc got very, very large very quickly, and navigating it is kind of a pain in the ass.
We know this particular feeling.
Yeah. Wait, did I write it down? Maybe I didn't. There's a couple names of places where, you know, reports are coming in from ... and ... They read very much like words you've heard before, like Kota Senja and Silibutara, but it's not exactly it's not exactly Silibutara. But it's you can easily read it to say reports are coming in from these other villages or these other towns. And toward the end of the letter, it says something about Fey Lords making their move. Like rumors about the Fey Lords. And then the last thing it begins to ask is, you know, what word do you have from Kota Senja? Like, what word can you send? And that's when it trails off toward the end.
Right then.
Just something about Fey Lords.
All right. About how long has it been?
At this point, probably about, I would say 40, 45 minutes.
All right. Yinkin the Invisible Spider continues down because he hasn't seen anything that would spot him. So
It's true. Yeah, it's kind of strange how like the tower seems unoccupied. And at this point, you realize very quickly you're very close. I mean, you're pretty much on ground, like level 2. You're going to hit level 1 very soon. And as you see, there's actually the widest staircase you've seen. It heads down into the main chamber of the spire. And here you see this is clearly like reception. There's a few desks, there's benches, there's places for rest. There's actually a fountain where one would keep fresh water for folk. There was quite a bit of furniture here, but a lot of it seems to have been like destroyed and like thrown up against the sides. And there's not necessarily like a particular logic to it. You can imagine at one point that this would have been a haven, a beacon for those living in the Fae, just a place between the villages or what have you to take your rest, take your ease. But for whatever reason, the main chamber of the spire seems to be just destroyed. But where the fountain is, there's no water. And now there is what very clearly looks to you to be a fairly large crystal ball just sitting in the fountain. Also, you see off to the side of the tower, there's very clearly what looks to be a trap door.
I don't suppose I'm going to be able to slip between the trapdoor and the floor, given my current size, or is it like flush?
Yeah, it. Well, you could give me because you are tiny. It's possible. I would probably make you roll for it, just to try to kind of squeeze your tiny spider body between the seams, as it were.
How squish can you get?
I'll give it a try. What kind of roll am I making?
I feel like acrobatics, unless someone has a suggestion for something else.
All right, so Spider's got +2 agi, which is the exact same as mine, so I can just use my own acrobatics.
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're trying to like look around and you're trying to find, you know, a place where it's a little more open and that you'd be able to kind of crawl through. But unfortunately, yeah, it looks pretty tight. And you can see that, you know, outside there is the archway that leads outside, and there is a door there, but it looks like it's been broken. The hinges have been snapped, and you're actually staring basically at the back of the horseman.
Oh, okay. So much for using that door. All right. Given all of that, I am going to make my way back up and out.
Okay.
And crawl back to the party and report back everything I have just seen. Mostly that the top levels are empty, but there is a trap door. That there's something at the top that is hooked up. This whole nightmare of empty rooms and the contents of that letter.
Sounds fascinating.
Assuming I manage to make it back to the party without getting stepped on by something.
You still have enough time to creep back with your invisibility spell. It'll run out more or less right about as you get to your friends.
Yeah, and I'll, as when invisibility stops, I will make sure that I'm behind a tree from everything. This way there's no problems, and pop back into elven form.
That's the end. If he's not back by now, he's on his own.
It's a good thing I'm back.
Oh, jeez.
You could have really used that opportunity to crawl all over Giselle's face, but
I could have, but
missed
He would
opportunity.
have gotten slapped. He'd have gotten so much.
Can we
And then
not
you've-
try to make each other scream when we're trying to hide?
that was my logic. So yeah, relay everything that I heard.
Okay. So yeah, Yinkin informs you guys of what's been seen. What do you do?
Well, it sounds like going into the tower as a pro isn't gonna work. Unless there's something in the basement.
Well, it seems like we might want to, if we're going to try and enter from on high.
How would we all get up there? I mean, I can do that again, but
And I should point out that like Yinkin could fit through because he was a spider. A human-sized person could not.
It didn't sound like there was a lot in the way. So again, I think as far as what we see outside, if we're able to separate them in some way, if we can take them out one at a time, it'll be a bit easier.
I'm
concern-
sorry. I'm gonna interrupt blatantly because I totally forgot to describe something that would be of interest to all of you, and I'm sorry. I actually spent time prepping and I totally spaced about it. On the main floor, Yinkin, where there was the fountain and all the destroyed stuff, what you also saw was what looked to be, and if we want to like retcon so that you could roll or whatever, we'll totally do that because you guys are going to want that. There was what appeared to be a pile of like clothing and gear that was just like thrown in a pile in that main room toward the back, as far away from the door as possible, but also away from the trapdoor.
oh, I'd like to investigate that at least. while
Yeah,
still
why don't you give
spider.
me an investigation check? I'm so sorry, guys.
Hey, shit happens.
Jesus.
Wow, I'm consistent.
It's mostly just like clothing, weapons. Like you see a couple clokes, boots,
Yeah,
that kind of
there's
stuff.
stuff. Well,
It's-
that's
I mean,
added to the report.
Yeah, like you would have had to have spent some time, but yeah, like it just looks like a bunch of gear. Sorry about that.
My concern about pulling some of them off is those lights are supposed to be spies. It's probably safe to assume they know that we are traveling together when we're traveling at all, and that we're at least around. So a diversion would be one or two of us, but they'd know to look for the rest of us.
The best idea for a diversion I had was going back up there as a spider and wrecking something, setting fire to the place on the top levels. But I'd need to rest an hour to be a spider again to get out. I can't just do it.
You're good at illusions, Faith, right? Do you have any kind of illusion that would help with that?
Not terribly. I mean, I can change my own appearance. I can make sounds.
You can make sound.
I can make them as well, but the range is quite limited.
It's 30 feet.
I can make sounds as well. You mean
It's-
prestidigitation?
Well,
I have a different one.
as do I. I think I can get a couple of yards. I'm wondering if we stagger them? If
Well, mine is only 10 feet, unfortunately.
well, that might work. Hang on. You can make a sound, correct?
Prestidigitation, I can make all kinds of things. I can also message him right to his brain and make him think it's someone talking to him. I can also make dancing lights. into like a glowing figure, maybe that would draw them off.
No, what I'm thinking is, okay, follow me on this. Torchlights. Can you make them look like torchlights, possibly?
My dancing lights are like 4 little torchlights, yeah. You guys have seen my dancing lights.
So, Gabriel and I can make sounds like feet moving through the grass or through the trees about 30 feet out. If we have them running around the exterior, around the perimeter, essentially, and have your lights like torchlights to support the sound, maybe it'll draw the night off, or at least the dogs, something. Or just see what their reaction is. If
Sure.
if just the
Idea.
dogs go, we can bring the dogs back our way and take care of them, leaving just the night.
I believe the lights have to be within 20 feet of each other.
That's fine. You just have a row of lights.
Okay, then.
It looks like 2 or 3 people carrying torches if we make the sounds of, feet on the ground and people moving through the grass or the trees.
That is a very good idea. You're almost as smart as I am.
No, I'm just very good at deceiving people.
Well, that's a talent in its own right.
Or at least making them think things I want them to think.
That too.
This
No.
isn't sounding any better.
Now, is the point of this distraction to try and lure them in and take them out quickly and quietly, or is it to draw as many as possible so that we can make a bolt for the tower?
That's just it. Without knowing how they're going to react, it's kind of a flash in the pan. We're going to see how they react, and if opportunity knocks, we're going in. If only certain things get drawn off, and we can handle, like the dogs, if just the dogs or just the knights go to investigate, just the knight goes to investigate, then we can take them out, like Gabriel has said, one at a time.
I don't know if we can take that night.
Yes, but
I mean,
well,
we might have a chance, but that would have to be our plan. I don't think we could
flash.
take the night and as a side, like we'd have to be ready.
Yeah, unless we could set a trap for. I mean, I'm open to ideas. I'm just throwing stuff out there.
I don't know what I don't know what kind of trap we'd be able to set other than an ambush. I don't think we were prepared to dig pits or anything like that.
I actually do have a shovel.
Why am I not surprised?
I'm a farmer.
Can I see what kind of armor the knight is wearing?
You could certainly try. Give me a perception check. Whoops. Yeah. It's it looks to be plate. The knight carries a shield. Beyond that, hard to say.
So I'm kind of squinting at the knight. And how far away is he, just about?
I mean, at this range, I don't know. It's up to you. I would say maybe 100 feet.
Or I could do something extremely stupid.
Don't do that.
Oh,
Not as a first.
That's not an opening gambit. But in all seriousness, as
looks
stupid
like
as it
he's-
sounds, do you want me to try and make a pit? I mean, it wouldn't be super deep, but it would definitely trip something to lure them to with the sounds, and they trip at least, and all of a sudden they're on the ground.
I can also ignite the knight.
oh,
He looks like he's wearing metal.
oh.
Takes a while to take that off. It worked last time.
I thought you meant like the night sky on fire.
No.
I thought you were writing a song.
The only problem I see with that is once you start to burn him, he's probably going to start yelling, which would definitely bring the other people.
I could
But
hope
Yinkin said there was nobody in the tower.
Not in the tower, but the rest of the guards, the dogs, they'll all come.
To him. They'll come after me.
All right, what if we circle around to the other side of the tower that doesn't have the doorway and set up our little plan to try and lure the dogs as they walk around that side further into the woods away from the tower?
That's fair.
And then after that, if we can get the dogs off their patrol route and take care of them in the woods, then maybe we can. I mean, maybe someone will come after them and say, "Hey, what happened to our dogs?" And they'll come out into the woods, and we can do it again, or we can
Were you
just.
able to figure out any patterns when you were watching?
Oh yeah, I don't know. Sean, the hour or two that Yinkin was exploring, I was pretty much focused on the guards and the dogs, and trying to figure out how often I saw them loop around, or you know.
Give me a, let's say, a perception check. Yeah, the dogs move in rotating patterns, so they don't walk together. They crisscross twice, basically. They move at the same pace around the tower. It probably takes them, I would say, about 5 minutes to make one loop. So you have like a window of give or take 2.5 minutes between one hitting that same spot. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we need like a mathematical diagram here.
Is it just the two dogs, one going one way, one going the other, or
Correct.
Okay.
Also, I mean, Gabriel did point out that there are those lightning creatures that are moving up and down the tower.
And then Yinkin saw them more clearly.
Yeah, which you're definitely paying attention. So I have the strangest feeling if we try and draw something in, the second we draw attention to ourselves, they will see us. The odds are extremely high.
Was there a well?
Or at least they'll see the dog disappear.
Not if we time it right, because they're just flashing in and flashing out, right? Flashing in, looking around, flashing out.
That's true. If we pick the right spot.
If we're in the back, we pick the right spot. We wait for that flash to happen, then pull our gambit.
Not a bad idea.
Okay. So exactly what is your plan?
I believe we're. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, we circle around to somewhere the opposite side of the doorway, but also maybe not quite to the spot where both dogs meet. Maybe just like before or after they cross paths, so that we can either distract. If we can get just one to come at us.
Okay.
And then the people who are making the sound and lights get in position, and people who aren't get ready to
Quickly and quietly take the dog out.
when they come to investigate, hopefully.
Okay. So, yeah. Is Yinkin building a trap? Is that still part of the plan or no?
Yeah. Do we want me to dig a pit?
If we're just going for the dogs and we're trying to single them one at a time, I don't think that's necessary, especially if we're going to time it so the flashes won't necessarily see that occurring.
Yeah, I think that's a risk. It might be a bit too noisy as well.
That's what I was worried about. So,
Gabriel, you hit harder than I do, and so do you, Giselle. I will be part of the making the lights, or not the lights, but at least the sound. I don't know if you can both make lights, but I think I only need one of you for this. And having another person ready to hit would not be a bad idea.
I can make solid objects. I can't make things that shine or bright, blink or anything like that.
Okay, so Giselle and I will work on the illusion of trespassers while the boys wait to strike.
This is gonna be fun.
Just be quiet with your fun.
I thought that was the opposite of what we were supposed to do.
You're making the light. I'm making the sound.
Fair enough. But I get to be really flashy.
Okay. So, you guys will say, just for the sake of brevity, that you get into position. You kind of sneak through the jungle as the best of your ability, and you move into position. Who needs to act first to draw away one of these hounds?
Giselle and I would need to, kind
Yeah.
of one. We've you can do 20 feet out. You said.
I can do 120 feet from me, but they have to be within 20 feet of each other.
Okay, so essentially, I can only do 30. I figure through discussion, we'll say, okay, near that tree there. Do you see it? Make sure we're focused in the same area, and then a 1, 2, 3, and then she'll bring in her lights, and I'll bring in the sound of somebody going through the trees with thaumaturgy.
Giselle, you probably shouldn't be 120 feet back, just because the range is that free. Within. I just in
didn't
case
say
you
it
need.
was
I
going to
know.
be.
But just in case,
Yeah.
Okay.
just clarifying that before the battle starts, so we don't have any.
So basically, the two of you need to make. I think we're going to go with performance checks, unless there's something else that someone feels like would be relevant here.
I mean, I'm good with that.
Deception?
Deception would work as well.
I'll do performance personally
And
because I'm doing the sound.
really shitty at charisma things.
Well, maybe for Giselle is just light. I'm actually making the sound to make it believable. Maybe she can give me advantage on performance.
I feel like we need both. We need her to do her lights to see if it grabs the
Alright.
attention, and then if she does, then that's when your sound. Because if her lights don't work, then your thing can't. It can't
What
go off.
What about a straight intelligence roll for Giselle then, for being able to form the dancing lights to be like torchlight?
Wouldn't that be an Arcana check?
Yeah, I mean, if
Well-
you're trying to shape magic to be something specific.
Arcana is like knowledge of magic, not like doing. That's why I was thinking. Intelligence is your spell casting.
I mean,
ability,
a wizard's all about your knowledge of magic and learning magic.
But I mean, Arcana is like effectively like history for magic.
Versus the manipulation thereof, which would
Yeah,
be
it's
your-
not like the physical manipulation.
That's why I'm thinking just a straight
Yeah.
intelligence roll would be like
Okay.
like your spell casting ability. How well can you
bullshit your magic.
shape the dancing lights to be like torchlight?
Okay. All right. So, Giselle, do you want to make an intelligence roll?
Sure.
14. Not bad. Oh,
Roll the freaking 2.
Faith.
Must be in performance.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's brutal for
At
you.
least you're good at that.
Yeah.
So, I think that Giselle's lights definitely attract one of the hounds. I think what actually happens is that they both kind of stop and they both look in the direction of the lights, trying to figure out what's going on. One of them just kind of shakes it off and begins to walk away. And then Faith, I think we'll say here that your ruse works, that the one of the hounds hears the footsteps and begins to approach your general direction or wherever it is you want them to go. That the pitfall here is it also draws the attention of at least one of those spark creatures, those lightning creatures. You don't know which. But you see it suddenly stop on the tower, and it looks to where the hound is going, and it begins to move in your direction as well. So,
Even though we were trying to time it for after the spark happening.
well, the sparks aren't as predictable as the hounds. They don't have a
Oh,
pattern
okay.
like the hounds. The hounds were very circular. The lightning creatures are not. So you get what you want. Mixed success.
Mostly.
Yeah. So the hound heads over. What has to happen next?
Essentially, we're going to start trailing the lights and stuff towards us because we started 30 feet out. So they come to us where the boys are waiting in ambush.
Is there a clear break in the tree line to like a clearing around the tower?
Yes, there is a clearing
So-
around the tower. Yes.
Ideally, we would have said wait. We'll wait to do any attacking until it breaks until it either gets to the tree line or inside of the tree line. We don't shoot anything out into the clearing while it's approaching, or
Okay.
in order to obscure more sight. So as soon as it gets close and gets into the tree line, then.
And are you? I guess we should have dealt with this before, but like, are you guys all just hiding in wait?
Kind of.
Yeah, that's. I thought we were just waiting on ambush.
Yeah, we're each just kind of like hiding behind a tree around the area where they are trying to lure.
Now the lightning thing that's coming, is it following the dog basically?
It seems to be moving in the same direction. Yes, like whatever attracted the hound seems to have attracted the lightning creature as well.
All right, this is what I want to do. I'm gonna try to, and I don't know how it thinks or anything like that, but I'm gonna create the image of like a dead rabbit past wherever the hound was, in the hopes that it'll make it think like, oh, it just killed a rabbit and it's going after another rabbit or something like that.
Oh, totally. Okay.
So like
Sure.
between the dog and the sparkly thing, just a dead rabbit.
Give
Maybe
me.
it looks like it was gnarled or something like that.
I am going to help with that.
How?
I'm going to use Druidcraft to make the smell of a dead rabbit.
Nice.
Okay. So Gabriel, roll. I want to say deception with advantage.
Nice.
That'll do. So yeah, you see this lightning creature, and it just sort of sparks through the air and then like lands, and I think it actually lands like for a moment on top of the hound, like it's on its back, and it looks, and you see it look down, and you see its nose kind of like it begins to like twinkle its nose, and you see it like shudder a little bit, and it just like shakes its head in disappointment, and you see it just crackle and disappear. And it seems to head back for the tower.
Nice.
Well done.
But also, because you rolled so well, now the hound is like starts to bound toward the dead rabbit.
Shit.
Like I mean, you did this exactly as you wanted, but also, the hound thinks this is real. It has no reason to believe it's not, right? So the hound starts to bound in the direction of the rabbit, and you see it running in that direction. And I think you put it in the clearing, right? You didn't put it in the jungle?
This was put between the dog and the sparkly thing, because I figured the dog was walking towards the trap, and then the sparkly thing was following it. I wanted to put it between the two of them, so that the sparkly thing would think that the dog had already tore that thing up and was going after something else. So the dog would have to turn around and go back to where it was at.
Well, I mean, it would definitely smell it. Like, that's for sure. Yeah. So it would actually turn back and start to head for the rabbit.
Whoops.
It's still in the trees.
I don't think it's made it to the trees, but
no, yeah, it's not there yet.
I mean, fuck it. Seeing it turn around, I pick up a rock and just throw it deeper into the woods. Like try to hit a tree or something.
Okay, and you're trying to just
catch its attention again. Like maybe there's something fresh in the woods still.
Right.
Get over here, you stupid fucking dog.
I don't know if that would be more like a perception check from the dog versus, because I'm just trying to create a noise, to lure it.
Giselle, Mr. Sprinkles.
Yes. Oh, God, he's gonna hate me. I summon Mr. Sprinkles.
More than he already does?
We're losing
Giselle just kind of laughs.
He's a crow right now, currently, right? Or a bird?
Yep.
Send him after the dead rabbit, and then let the dog chase him back here.
Back here to us.
So we can take him out.
Okay. I summon Mr. Sprinkles from his pocket dimension.
Okay, and what are you having him do?
I'm gonna have him fly at the dog's face and then back towards us.
That's all?
Pretty much, yeah.
Like at the rabbit. So it looks like the crow is picking at the rabbit, and then stealing his supper.
Better.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was figuring you would try to do. That makes more sense to me then. Okay. So why don't you give me? I feel like this is probably deception, or I feel like deception makes the most sense.
Yeah.
So Mr. Sprinkles flies out at the rabbit, and the hound looks at it and seems to kind of like get excited for a moment. Like you can see it, like it wants to grab at the bird, at Mr. Sprinkles. And I think the reason this doesn't work is because Mr. Sprinkles just like says in your mind like, "Fuck you," and just like flies back in your direction. Like he doesn't want to do this. He's
Well,
like,
this is the thing. When the crow gets to the rabbit, I'm gonna make the rabbit disappear. So when he flies off, to make the dog believe that the crow just carried the rabbit away.
okay.
And I'll
It's no
hit
longer
him,
on the ground.
and I'll hit Mr. Sprinkles to make him smell like rabbit now.
Oh, poor Mr. Sprinkles. You guys are awful.
I mean, Mr. Sprinkles has flyby. So.
He doesn't want to be a team player.
So sorry, my dog came to visit me. So yeah, I think that at this point, like with all the cumulative rolls, I think this is what finally grabs the hound. Mr. Sprinkles like feels like he can smell the stink that you just hit him with, Yinkin. And I think what he's going to do, like he'll fly back in your direction. It looks like he's carrying the rabbit, but he's not. And I think Mr. Sprinkles is like very mildly confused by this, but not enough to like stop. And he flies through, and in his frustration, he like literally flies through all of you, like just at all of you, and like just like flies just angrily. And a moment later, suddenly there's this explosion as the hound like leaps and explodes through the tree line into the jungle.
And we all unleash.
So yeah, you guys have a moment here before the hound, retaliates. So what are you all doing?
Hitting it in the face.
Yeah.
Let's go through. We'll just do this in line so we don't get all confused. Did anybody have to concentrate though for any of their spells?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay. So
Dancing lights is concentration.
But I feel once he would have turned back.
yeah,
Liz, it would
you probably
drop
dropped
that.
it. Yeah.
That only lasts a minute anyways. That would have dropped it, yeah.
So Yinkin, this thing bounces. And you guys are all like crowded up together waiting.
I mean, probably not like we probably were all crowded around or all behind a separate tree in a surrounding kind of like a 10 to 20 foot circle
Okay.
where we
Yeah.
were hoping to lure them so we could kind of surround them.
All right, so you see this thing explode. It's clearly looking for the crow that just stole its lunch. Yinkin, what do you do first?
I shillelagh it and try and baseball this thing while it's in the air.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, 12 does not hit. I think you hit its body, but it just thuds, and it does not seem to do any damage. Faith?
I'm gonna say somebody's been a bad dog.
Oh. It definitely fails, so it takes 4 psychic damage.
And on its attack, it'll have disadvantage.
Okay. Gabriel.
Oh boy. I don't want to make anything explode, no magic missiles or anything, so I think I'm just gonna stab it.
Okay, 17 actually hits. So it takes 4 piercing damage. It actually seems to take less than that.
Of course.
You cut into it. It does take some damage. Marcus.
I bonus action to cast Hex on it,
Okay.
and then action to Quarterstaff.
What's it at disadvantage for Hex?
Wisdom checks.
Okay. And Giselle. Unfortunately, the quarterstaff, you just hit air.
Yeah, I'm gonna forego the flashy fire spells and hit him with a ray of frost.
Okay. That definitely hits. You do 1 damage.
1 damage.
So now the thing lands.
But it's slowed.
It
Don't
is.
we have a surprise round on it?
That was your
I think
surprise round.
that was our surprise round.
That was a surprise round, then I have advantage. We all have advantage if that was a surprise round.
Oh.
I mean, the thing
I mean,
was
it's
like
okay
you
if it's
weren't
not.
sneaking really. Like that's what generally.
I
You know-
think yeah, we have a surprise round, but it doesn't suffer the surprise condition, because that's the thing about surprise in 5e is it's a condition, not a so
Right.
it's not doesn't have the surprise, because also the surprised condition ends as soon as anything, like the first attack against it, or so only the very first attack has advantage,
Okay.
and then it loses, but it still doesn't act in the first round.
Right. So you all
Yeah,
got
that's pretty
free
much all it
attacks
is.
basically. Like that's
Yeah, now we do initiative and we can have a chance to hit again.
right. Now you will roll initiative. The creature will also roll initiative.
Typical initiative for faith. Fuck.
Oh, and I got to roll for. Oh, shit.
Oh yeah, we have friends. Don't our friends get a surprise attack?
That's what I'm looking for right now. I got to remember where I put these creatures. I know where Tahira is, but the other one is here. Did I roll for Tahira? I did not. Oops. All right, so we will roll for Tahira. Jesus Christ. And then Aglaya will roll as well. Okay. So first, I almost hit the wrong button. Is Tahira. Tahira was waiting to with her longbow at the ready, and she will try to longbow this thing.
Did they not get one in the surprise round too?
Yeah, if you guys want to cheat, sure. So she'll take a longbow attack, which I think, yeah, that hits. So she does a little bit of damage there. And then she will roll again for her actual attack. So she will shoot it again, which also hits. And another, so okay. So she just nails it. I mean, it's got a very large body. It's pretty easy to hit just because of the size of it. She knocks very quickly, knocks 2 arrows, and they just both land in the side of the creature's body. And you see its kind of blood begin to pour out of the wounds. Gabriel.
Noticing that my dagger didn't do as much damage as I'd hoped, I stow it, and since I'm still in melee, I'm just gonna grab it and shock it.
That definitely hits. So you do 2 damage.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it take any conditions because of shock and grasp? I don't think so.
Unless it's wearing some type of metal.
Yeah, which it's definitely not. Okay. Aglaya is going to she's going to try to 2-handed spirit. Which Jesus. Oh yeah, so it takes a whopping 1 damage. Giselle.
All right. I'm gonna try Ray Frost again and hope it fucking does more than 1 damage this time.
Okay. Yeah, you take 2 damage. You're moving on up.
Well,
You're getting better.
Well, its movement speed is fucking messed up now.
Well, the thing is, does it compound? Is it minus?
No.
Yeah, so it's only lost 10 feet, I think.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
10 feet. Yeah, it doesn't stack. But the shocking grasp means it can't take a reaction until
Okay.
its turn again. Yeah.
Okay, Marcus.
Another quarterstaff.
That does hit.
Nice.
7.
11 because of the hex. Yeah.
So it takes. This is gonna get weird. So it takes 3 from the bludgeoning, but then it takes all of the hex, so it takes -4. So it's I think 7 total.
And then flurry of blows.
Okay. Unfortunately, 13 does not hit. 16 does hit.
Oh, that should have a
Hex on it, yeah.
Is it D6?
Yeah. Minus another
So,
2. Okay.
4 total. It halves the bludgeoning.
Now it is its turn. It just landed in a jungle looking for its lunch, and now it's being beaten to death by clubs and arrows, and it's not too happy about that. So it is going to begin to bay. It starts to create this like haunting, awful howling sound. I need everyone, and I mean everyone, to make a wisdom saving throw.
Ugh.
DC 13.
Shit.
Ugh.
Failed. Succeeded. Failed.
Fuck.
Oh, Jesus.
Who are we missing? Yinkin succeeds. And then I will make rolls for Tahira. Wisdom save. She saves. And Aglaya fails. So, Yinkin, Giselle, and Tahira are the only ones that save. Everyone else, you are frightened.
All right.
You, let's see.
So for disadvantage on ability checks and attacks while the thing is
Well,
in sight and we can't move closer.
actually,
Or is there more to this, right?
yeah, you actually have to use all of your movement to get it. You have to get all of your movement to get as far away from the hound as possible.
Oh, goddamn these things.
On our turns or currently?
On your turns, you all failed your saving throw, so you are all considered frightened. And that is what it does at this turn. As it does so, after the howling, the baying is kind of finished, the jungle sounds oddly silent. And you do hear the other hound from a distance. It begins to kind of like call in return, but it's not that same baying sound. But it seems to be, it's realizing that maybe something's wrong. Yinkin, you succeeded?
I did.
So you are immune to its frightened condition. What do you do?
Does it move at all, or just stays where we're beating it?
It's no, it's gonna stay expecting. I mean, it sort of expects you all to be frightened. So it's still within range to attack you guys, but it's not going to do that this turn. So yeah,
Okay.
you still have it.
I will continue to shillelagh it
Okay.
poorly.
Unfortunately, yes, 7 does not do it. So you just miss entirely. Faith.
I will move my 30 feet from it,
Mm-hmm.
turn around and just. I'm going to keep with the bad dog.
Let me see. Hang on. Yeah, you must finish the move before taking an action.
Yep, which I did. And I
Yep.
have 60 feet on Vicious Mockery.
Target successfully saves.
And is Hex saves or just ability checks?
Ability
It's
checks.
ability checks, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so it makes a wisdom save. Which it succeeds.
Damn. Okay.
Tahira, it is her turn. We're back to the top of the order. She is not frightened. And she is going to see how this is like affecting all of you. She does definitely get a little spooked. Did I write anything in there? Nope, I didn't. That was smart. She actually has, I think. What was that thing that Mel's character in the last campaign had, whose name I've already forgotten?
Sharpshooter?
Was that the...
Sharp-
Oh, no, Colossus Slayer is what I was thinking. She actually does
Oh.
have that. You got to remind me because I forget. So she's going to shoot it with a longbow, which she misses, and she gets a second shot. That one just barely hits. So we'll roll
So-
this.
And it gets an extra D8 because it's already been damaged.
Yeah, so she gets 8 damage plus 9, so 17 halved, so it takes 8. So she nails the thing, and it kind of cries out. You can see it's badly wounded. Gabriel, you, I believe, are frightened.
Yeah, I basically have to move away. Do I get a saving throw again or no?
I think it's not until the end of its next turn.
Oh, it's turn.
Yeah, be frightened until the end of the hound's next turn.
Okay. And that's all I'm able to do is move away from it.
You can still take your action.
Yeah, you can still get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll kind of turn over my shoulder and shoot a firebolt at it.
Okay, so it takes 1 fire damage.
Us on our damn 1 damage.
Yeah, you guys are rolling like shit today. Aglaya is gonna flee. She flees off to the side. She's gonna turn around. She does have a short bow, which she will try to use, which she hits with. And she does 4 piercing damage. Next, it is Giselle's turn. You, I think, also. You succeeded.
Yeah, I succeeded.
Okay.
I'm gonna just magic missile it this time.
Yeah.
14.
So, what does it look like when your magic missile destroys this thing?
She just like conjures 3 glowing balls in her hand and lobs them at him like she's throwing snowballs at a kid. Bam, 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 right in its face. You little ugly fucker. Go
Always
away.
Picking on kids.
I hate kids, okay?
So, yeah, she hits this creature in the face with her balls, and it dies.
You had to say it like that, didn't you?
I mean, I had to. It's like rolling out the red carpet. Thank you.
So I'm gonna just put it out there. We have behaved this far. You have opened the door.
Listen. That's first of all, that's not fair. As a DM, I think I am immune to this condition. Okay, whatever this is that I'm immune to it.
Baloney.
No,
Baloney.
no, that's no. I am DM, and I
complain about when we do things like this. If
listen.
The door for us.
I decree at my table, because I'm a
We're
tyrant.
not at a table.
That this is my digital table. First of all, okay, and I am immune to these shenanigans. Okay, so I'll have to come up with like a funny name, like a robe of perversion avoidance. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. So this thing is dead. Its body slumps to the ground. The rest of you who are frightened are immediately no longer frightened. But you do now see that the other hound is heading in your direction. Like it has altered its course in the direction of the baying. It realizes now like something is terribly amiss. So it's
the
heading.
sound of its baying moving away from us.
Is it just is it just the hound?
That you're seeing, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna do exactly that. I'm gonna use thaumaturgy and start doing that same baying we heard before, and send it off like from us, like southeast into the woods, like it's chasing something. Like,
Sure.
Wait from us to make it deviate its course before it sees us.
Give me a deception performance.
Performance again. Come on, Faith. There we go.
That's a lot better. So yeah, you see suddenly the hound is literally beelining for you, and it's walking. It's not running, but then it turns and it hears the baying from deeper in the jungle, and it suddenly like begins to bound and bounce through the jungle, like it's gonna try to disappear to find its comrade, its friend, what have you. So that other hound seems to have been dealt with for the time being. So, so you guys. You're on the edge there of the jungle. You see that the hounds have been dealt with. So congratulations. I'm going to close the... that's not what I meant to do. I'm going to close the initiative order. So now you guys are there at the edge of the jungle. What's next?
Wrapping around, we didn't see any other entrances, correct?
You did not.
So we have to round back to the front to see if the knight's reacted or if he's gone. Yeah?
Yeah. If he's not, I mean, I don't know if now if we just try the same thing again, lure the knight out, or if we just rush him before the dog gets back. But we'll have to decide when we get over there.
I really don't want to fight him.
Wants in need might be very different right now. Let's go.
Okay, so you guys are heading back around to the front?
I'm taking rear guard to keep an eye out for the dog.
Okay.
Going very quietly, yeah. And I did the baying for the entire 30 feet that I could, to get it really kind of going out there.
Okay. All right. So, you guys head back to the front. As you approach the front, you see that The knight is no longer there. It's no longer in the doorway. And
We don't see where he, do we see where he is?
give me a perception check, Giselle.
Can I assist her with this?
I mean, you could probably make your own. I don't know how you would assist with a perception check. Nope. So, Giselle, what you see is that the knight appears to have wandered sort of back into the spire a bit. The crow has actually wandered away toward the edge of the jungle. And as you see this other crow, you don't, it's not going to run into you because you guys see it moving, the crow. It's moving toward the jungle, and it appears to stop right at the edge, and it waits. And there's kind of a pause, and then you start to see and hear movement on the far side of the jungle. And you see there are a couple of those red caps that you fought. Not the same ones you fought, but other red caps that appear to be carrying and or dragging things behind them. And as you've experienced firsthand, the red caps are quite strong. One of them is dragging behind him what looks like something you've seen before, one of these like goat men. And it's dragging it by its hooves. And its head is knocking against the ground. The thing is clearly, if it's not dead, it's clearly unconscious. And you can see that there's some blood around its horns, and it's dragging it rather violently as it emerges. The other red cap is pulling behind it. Two things. It's got one thing in its hand in front, and it seems to be dragging something behind it. And it appears to be dragging it with a leash of some manufacturer. It's difficult to tell at this distance. In the front, you see that it's got what appears to be a cage made of some kind of metal. And inside of it, you see these two little kind of bodies that look like small winged creatures, like small winged humanoids.
Like the ones we saw put Sam to sleep?
The ones that have been chasing my dragon friend?
Not quite like that. It's similar in size, but different in appearance. Whereas those creatures from before were kind of feminine with like a greenish skin. They look like gentle, feminine types. That's maybe a little sexist, but these creatures look a bit more, and it's difficult to tell. They look a bit leaner, a little more masculine. That's not to say that they are all males, but they are also winged, but they look a bit stronger. Like they look like they're almost wearing like armor, like this tiny little armor. And they appear to be, and the red cap appears to be like, clearly he's not being gentle with this cage. He's just sort of bouncing them around. And as he emerges from the forest, you see this leash, and it's dragging what clearly looks like a dryad. The dryad looks wilted and withered, like it's in pain, like it's given up. And it's just being effectively dragged by the red cap into the clearing. And the crow meets them on the far side. And the crow seems to stop and does some sort of investigation. Seems, like he's trying to figure out what they're bringing in and what have you. And then just points at the tower. And the two red caps begin marching with their big heavy iron boots and begin walking into the tower, dragging these creatures with them. You see the red cap in the back just drag the goat man, and its head is bouncing on the stairs up into the door of the tower. And they disappear.
Oh, crap. Shit. Are the red caps considered medium creatures?
Yes, they are. I believe so. I will double check, but I'm quite sure they are. Nope, I'm sorry. They're small. I don't know how anyway. So you all see this.
There was no verbal exchange, though?
It didn't seem like there was language. The crow was definitely observing and checking something. It's like checking cargo, basically. But no, nothing was said.
we could still possibly make this work.
Those could be more potential allies if we.
Yeah, but we can't take the crow, the knight, the red caps, that dog when it eventually catches up to us.
Yeah, that dog's not going to be gone for long.
What about just the crow right now? The red caps and the knight are inside. That might take them.
You might be able to.
Yeah, the crow is the only thing we see right now, right? The dog took off
Correct.
the other direction.
Correct.
And the knight is
yeah.
inside, or is like, can we still see him?
He's inside that main chamber that was described to you by Yinkin.
So he's in the tower. Then he's not like hanging.
I mean, there's
out.
no door to the tower, but like, yes, you could. He is inside the tower.
We could try our
I say we try and take
way
them.
around. That too.
I move Hex to the crow.
Does it doesn't know that you're doing that?
I don't know. Doesn't say.
In my opinion, it's more like it's kind of like you're jinxing it.
Yeah.
So it's not like a physical reaction or anything like that. It's just now it's kind of like unlucky. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to give it a roll,
To see if it perceives it.
Yeah, I
kind of thing?
feel like a sleight of hand roll maybe makes sense, unless there's another roll you think is applicable.
He doesn't know we're there, so slightly.
I would say. I mean, I would think like its perception check against my save DC.
Well,
That makes
I'm-
sense. Yeah.
but you're trying to apply it though. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to like put it on the thing. You're taking an action against it, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't. It can't avoid it. I mean, it's and I don't have to recast it. I
no
just kind of
save
have to.
against
I
it.
just think about moving it.
Okay. What's your save DC?
13.
Okay, it's gonna roll perception. No. So for the moment, it has not, and I'm gonna obviously hide those rolls. But it has not noticed that you did that. Not yet.
I say we strike.
Do you want me to try to send him away,
No.
like I did
The
with
same way
everyone
with
else?
Sam.
Mm,
How long does that
It's-
last?
8
If
hours.
it's a fey creature,
Well,
it should have advantage though against being charmed.
Would you know that?
I'm a fey creature. I have advantage against being charmed.
But it's not elvish.
But it's not an elf. I mean, it's Fey ancestry is what gives elves the
Yeah.
Hmm.
advantage.
So
to
something
charm.
not elven. That's what I was wondering. If it's not elven, would you know that?
I
think
mean,
Giselle
I
would be
don't
the
know. There are some fey creatures that don't have it, so I mean, it might not have it. But that's what I'm assuming, being a fey creature myself.
I feel like Giselle would be able to.
I mean, I have no
know
idea how
that.
that works. If you
Yeah.
have some idea, if you don't think it's going to work, then I won't do it. But it's worked on everything else I've tried it on.
It's true.
That is true.
It's our best shot. Will he know that you? It'll know that you tried something, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
No,
Because I'll have to talk. I'll have to talk to it. Basically.
Right.
Oh.
So the rest of us hide and we pull the same
Yeah.
thing. Just Gabriel's the bait this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's do
Just
it
let me know
quickly.
when you guys are ready.
Look, my friend.
So I feel like here is going to require a stealth check from everybody, not Gabriel, because if this fails, then this is going to be potentially cataclysmic for everybody. So if you're trying to hide, I feel like everybody needs to make a stealth check. 12, 16,
Oh, go Giselle.
Yinkin. And I will make for... Nice.
Bringing up the average speed.
Stealth. Oh, she's got great stealth too. Nice. Look at that. The NPCs aren't your problem. Cool. So, if it's anybody, it's going to be Yinkin. So, Gabriel, you just want to approach this thing head on?
Yeah, I'm gonna stroll out of the woods, and
Jedi mind trick it.
it is a beautiful day out today, my friend. How are you doing? You should go fishing. It's a wonderful day to go fishing.
Okay.
Oh God.
He has to make a wisdom save.
Wisdom save. If he
What-
fails, he's gonna go for a walk and
What's the
go
DC?
fishing.
That is awesome.
This is like such a fucking cartoon shit to do,
DC
man.
15.
This is so cartoony. Oh my god. Like, wasn't there a cartoon with an actual crow? Yes. Anyway, so you say that, and it looks at you, and you can barely see its face. You can see the beak. You can see this thing is like armed to the teeth. I guess since you're close, I can maybe do a little bit better of a description for you.
Yeah, I'm a bit nervous.
Yeah, yeah. The thing is absolutely armed. It carries a long sword. And it's quite long and narrow. It looks extraordinarily sharp. It's got these big taloned feet and this large beak. And again, you can barely make out its face, but you can sort of just see its eyes under the hood, like the deep black, dangerous looking creature. And it just sort of looks at you and it cocks its head like a dog that's confused. And it kind of looks around for a moment and it looks back at you. He says, "Good call, friend. Thanks." Pats you on the shoulder and begins to disappear into the jungle.
Yes.
Nice.
I look over where the rest
Wow.
of the party is hiding. I just like crack my knuckles and just shrug.
I would like to insight if this thing's playing us.
Sure.
I am impressed.
It doesn't appear to be.
Charming
then.
is my specialty. I am very impressed.
Yeah, the thing just, I mean, it's still armed. It's still got its armor. It just wanders off.
Well,
Good job.
All right.
That leaves the knight. I don't think we're luring him out.
nope.
My hex is stuck on that guy now.
Well, the things that we know about, there's a dog, there is the 2 red caps and the knight, and then these lightning things that may still be around.
Can we see what the red caps are doing with the captives from here?
I mean,
Since they're
at this
through the door?
at this point, they would have walked into the tower, dragging their captives with them, up into the tower. You might have heard from a distance the creaking of wood, which Yinkin would be able to reasonably assess, as would the rest of you probably, as it was described to you, that it was the trapdoor opening.
Okay.
And I think yeah, that's you would know that. You would easily be able to ascertain that, I think. Let me move them.
And now
more
are they
close.
heading back out?
They have not yet.
Charge the tower, lock the trap door, fight the knight while someone stands on it.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
We could go into the cellar and lock the door to keep the paladin out. Fight what's down there.
I doubt that the dog could open the door, so we could just shut the door to the tower once we're inside.
There's no
So
door.
we're
on the
half
top.
There is no door.
Not
Oh,
much door left.
doorway.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just an archway.
It might be difficult for the dog to get in, though. The door is built
Yeah.
for elves, not because remember the hounds are large, so they, in theory, it could try, but that might be an advantage for you.
I'd say we rush in and check if we can't see the red caps when we get a better sight into the room again. We should probably just rush in. We launch some spell attacks at the knight from outside first and try and keep them from
I'm
coming
for
back
that.
up.
Yeah, let's go.
So what exactly is the plan?
Charge.
You're all just bolting in.
This is
Yeah.
Braveheart now.
Quietly, I would think. Just because there are still those flashing light things.
Actually, time the charge. Wait for one of them to blink out from directly in front of us and run like hell.
Good idea.
But you're not stealthing into the tower.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. So
No, we're just hoping nothing's watching.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, you guys, you hear the crow as it's just like you hear it moving through the trees, trying to find somewhere to fish, and you guys all begin to bolt into the tower. You run through the courtyard, you run up the stairs through the door, and you're abruptly greeted by, all you see is the knight. The knight is standing alone in the center of the room at that crystal ball. and it's facing you. It's on the other side of the fountain that holds the crystal ball. And you see behind him is all the detritus and the broken furniture, and you see that pile of gear, Yinkin, that you saw earlier. And the before we get there, you see that the knight is staring into the crystal ball. And again, it's shifting, its armor is changing colors, all this sort of stuff.
So the crystal ball is between it and us.
Correct.
Okay.
And the knight appears to be like nodding at the crystal ball. And then abruptly just its body kind of stiffens and it looks up. And you can't really see its face. It's just covered in this massive beard. The hair keeps changing colors from like a white to a brown to a red, just much like its armor. And it just like nods at all of you and steps over to the side and draws its weapon. I feel like that's initiative. I don't think you get a bonus round here because there was no surprise.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Lovely. This thing is gonna wreck us.
Probably.
Shit. So let me. This fight might get a little confusing. So wow, you guys rolled pretty well. You'll have to bear with me.
Woo!
So I got to roll for. Shit. I got to roll for shit. That didn't roll. There we go. Nice. Tahira. Okay. Initiative. Cool. Okay. All right. First in the order, Marcus. So you walk in, you see this massive knight.
I hear a kitty.
Yeah, that's my cat. She wants food. Let's see. Can I see where the trapdoor is on the room?
It's to the right as you enter. It's against that far wall.
Okay, and is it closed?
It is.
I move to stand on the trapdoor, and then I'll shoot an Eldritch Blast at the knight.
Okay. That hits.
Nice.
It's a 14.
You never moved your hex, did you?
He lost
I moved it. Yeah, it's stuck on the other guy now because I can only move it when I die.
Oh, until he dies, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So hex would have been double damage too.
Maybe he'll fall off a cliff while going to get, find some fish.
Maybe he'll drown or get something else will kill him. I should know if he dies. I should know because my hex will be freed up. It's not like Hunter's Mark, so I can't sense where he is. But
I should know since it'll break my spell.
Okay. Giselle, you're next, I think.
Well, since this guy looks like he's a big nasty motherfucker, I am going to Scorching Ray him.
Okay. That hits. Misses. So it takes
Well, at least one hit.
Oh,
5 damage.
and actually hang on. Like I said, there's a lot going on here, so you have to give me a moment. Pretty sure those two have the same thing. Yeah. So yeah, you hit it, and it doesn't seem as effective as you would have expected. Yinkin.
I am going to rush over near Marcus because I also want to be near the trapdoor in case bad things start to happen. And I will throw a ball of fire at him.
Okay.
If my sheet ever lets me.
You do 1 damage.
And I tell Marcus that I'll stand on the door.
Okay. So you hit him with yeah. Okay, so you do some damage. Yeah. Faith.
I am also gonna move behind Yinkin, knowing how strong the red caps are, if they're in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I will do what I did before.
Okay. Yeah, he makes a con save.
That's just not to drop it. He gets no save for the damage.
That's on his armor. I will note.
But he does get a save though, right?
He's wearing the armor. He can't drop
Yeah.
it. He has to be able
can't
to take
take
it
it off.
off.
The save is only if it's a
I'll
sword.
search the spell card.
Okay. So you start to light him up. The metal lights, he doesn't seem to react as harshly as you would have expected, but he does react. He does take some damage. Gabriel.
Haven't done this in a while.
I still have a
But,
bonus action. I'm gonna reach around because I think we're going to die. Slap Marcus on the ass and say, "Go get him!" and inspire him.
Good job, Faith.
reach around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to reach around Yinkins, like.
Yep.
Dear God. All right, Gabriel.
I turn as a free action. I say, Yinkin, now's not the time.
Flabbergasted druid.
Yeah. Under the belief that this is almost a near suicidal mission, I think my eyes start to glow, and for my action, wings again start to sprout from my back.
Okay. And that's your whole action, I think, right?
That takes up my whole action.
Okay. Next is Tahira. She's going to take a couple. Let's see. Hold on. Does she not have? I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. She's going to shoot him with longbow. Clearly misses. Second attack hits. Takes a little bit more damage.
Colossus Slayer.
Yeah, Colossus there.
Good call. Good call. Do. Another little bit of damage. Every little bit helps. And then it is Aglaea's turn. She's also going to shoot him, with her short bow, which unfortunately misses. Now it is the horseman's turn. So, a lot of options here. A lot of options. He is going to... Oh, man.
I will note I have a flame shield around myself from the fire spell. Sorry.
That's okay. He is going to pull out... he has a long sword. He has a shield, like I described. And you have all done significant damage to him. So he is going to roll to see who he hits. So we'll have to roll a d7, which I'll copy. First is against Aglaea, actually. And he is going to hit her with his longsword.
He has
At
disadvantage.
disadvantage.
Okay. So I just rolled this.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. So this is significantly worse because she's going to take the damage from the longsword, which is 12. Plus, she actually needs to make a con save, which she fails. So she's going to take 12 slashing damage. I actually have to fix her health because I think she was at full health. So 30. Oh, not by much. Okay. So you see something happen with Aglaea. She takes the strike with the sword. And she does take some damage. I mean, she's slashed almost immediately. But then right afterwards, you notice some of her hair grows longer. Some of it starts to grow darker in color. Some of it starts to go kind of gray. And her antlers grow out.
She's aging.
And then the sword, the knight actually gets 2 more attacks for which he will roll to see who he hits.
Wow.
They both go against Yinkin. So he's going to attack you twice with his longsword. Actually, no. He carries a lance with him because he is a knight, a proper knight. And he's going to pull out his lance because he can do that as a bonus action. And he's going to attack you twice with his lance.
Still disadvantage.
Oh, you okay. Why does he have disadvantage? Just remind me.
The heat metal on the armor. I can link the spell card if you want.
Okay. I believe you. I trust you. Unless you give me a reason not to. You're going to take 7 piercing, and he'll attack you again. 14. Does 14 hit?
14 does not hit.
So you take 7 piercing damage from the lance. And that is his turn. Marcus.
So he's pretty close now. So he came over to.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
you're all
standing
basically
next to me,
within.
yeah.
You can get to him if
Like
you
this
know.
tower's not that big. So.
Exactly. So you can use your movement, but you're never outside of his your movement of him.
Yeah. So I will, I guess, run up and make some melee attacks.
Okay. Unfortunately, no. You just slam into his shield.
All right. Just one unarmed strike.
Don't forget you have inspiration.
Yeah, I was thinking about using it on the quarterstaff, but definitely not going to use it on the unarmed strike. 9 didn't hit, or 16 didn't hit.
Yeah, 9 definitely does not hit. Giselle,
All right.
back to the top of the round.
So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna back up because I don't want to be anywhere near this fucking fight. I'll back up towards the door so I can keep a lookout.
Okay.
For if the dog returns, and then I'm gonna magic missile him.
Okay.
Ah, fuck! I thought I fixed those.
Okay. It's not bad. Takes 10 damage.
Better than half damage from fire.
Okay.
And that's everything.
Okay. Yinkin.
I am going to use my action to shapeshift into a bear and lock down this trapdoor.
Okay. Now, if you do that, I don't think you can attack him, right?
No, it's my full action, unfortunately.
Okay. Faith.
Bonus action to continue with the heat metal.
Okay. 2.
There's the spell card.
Okay. Nice. Thank you.
Then I'm just, since I'm at the back of this train, I'm at least 10 feet away from him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just use the crossbow then.
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it just hits his armor and dinks off. Does nothing.
Okay.
Gabriel.
How high is the ceiling in this place?
In this room or the spire? I'm guessing you mean this room.
At in general.
Okay. I would say no more than like 15 feet.
Okay. So not, I guess, for mechanics, but just aesthetics, I guess. I lift off the ground,
Mhm.
and I'm going to fire a magic missile at him.
Okay.
I'm going to do level 2. That's 15 points of force and 4 points of radiant damage.
Okay. So here's what happens. Something kind of weird happens. So your magic missiles slam into the body of the knight. And so you did a total of 19?
19.
Okay. That's going to matter here. So you hit him, and as your third magic missile slams into his body, you all watch as the missile slams him, and there's like a jerk, like a jolt of the knight. The whole body kind of jitters like for a moment. And you see suddenly the black of the armor seems to fade away. Like it's being drawn away or being pulled from some place. And the body of an elven man just sort of slumps and drops to the ground.
Wow.
Wearing no clothing, just thuds against the floor of the spire. And again, there's sort of another stutter with the knight. And you see now the knight is still there, still armed and everything. but now the colors are limited. There's no more black. It's just the red and the yellow. And I think that's Tahira's turn. Unless
All
you
right,
have...
guys, I knocked the black out of him.
Oh, that's slightly racist.
Slightly.
So
It's completely descriptive. It has nothing to do with race.
yeah, it is. It's just it's real close. So now it's Tahira's turn. She's confused. Clearly, she's not sure what the fuck's going on. But she is gonna take a couple more longbow attacks. Please don't. God damn it! I'm not trying to roll well.
You only roll well against yourself.
Okay, so the first one hits, does 12 damage, plus I know Colossus Slayer. I don't think Colossus Slayer crits, though, so 12, so it's 19. But it's less than that. So... minus, okay. So, yeah, she nails it with her bow. Does a decent chunk of damage. Thing still seems to be pretty well up. And now it is Aglaea's turn. She's also going to shoot it. Whoops. Misses. She only gets one attack, but she clearly misses. Now it is the horseman's turn. It's going to... Well, I think it doesn't matter anyway. So, it's going to go and start... So, its first attack is against Tahira. Second against Gabriel. And the third against Yinkin, who is a bear.
If she's moving to Hero, doesn't he have to move out of melee range with me? She's been firing with a bow.
Well, you're out of melee. He's not in your melee range because you're a bear on the trapdoor.
You hit him last
You
turn.
hit me with a lance.
Which is
Lance has 10 feet.
Oh, it has reach.
It has
never
reach.
mind.
So the first attack is against Tahira. Do.
See, if he's in the center of the room, he could probably hit any of us with the lance.
Yeah. So what is Tahira's AC? 14. So that just hits her. So she takes 17 damage. And... Oh, I have to roll something. Hang on. Nope. Okay. And then the second attack is against Gabriel. But I think he's going to... Oh, of course, I don't think he has a spell card for it. I think he's going to shoot a ray of frost at you, Gabriel. What's the...
Can he take 2 actions like that? I think if he's attacking, he has to continue the attack action.
Well, it doesn't say. That's the thing. Like, it doesn't... So that's fine. We'll just hit you with a lance then. 14 probably doesn't hit.
That's a miss.
And last is against...
11. He crit miss.
And then 12. So
That's against me?
Yeah.
That hits as a bear.
Okay. So you take 15 piercing damage as a bear.
Ow.
Marcus, your turn. I guess I should pull up that other one. Whoops. Fuck.
Another quarterstaff.
Yeah, unfortunately, just too much armor.
And then key point, flurry of blows.
That actually does hit.
Okay, second. 7 doesn't, obviously.
So it's just 5. So it's... Okay. So he takes a little bit of damage. You do hit him, but the plate really seems to absorb quite a bit of the damage. So... Sorry, I'm just double checking something here. Like I said... Okay. Interesting. That's great. That is great. Okay, anything else your turn?
Nope.
Giselle. And now, because we're at the top of the round again, Yinkin, because you're standing on the trapdoor, you're starting to hear below you a couple things. You're starting...
I'm on it with him.
So you're hearing it as well. So you're starting to hear what sound like moans and cries. You're starting to hear this gruff kind of low-toned voices beginning to like yell or punish or what have you. And you're also starting to hear what sounds like it sounds like mewling. And you're starting to hear what sounds like a scraping against the trapdoor. All right.
Alrighty then.
Giselle, your turn.
All right. So the black one is gone. So there's the red and what other color?
Yellow. It's starting to kind of alternate between red and yellow.
I would like to try and time my attack to hit the yellow one.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Oh, that
Yes.
was off.
So it
Wow.
takes 6 damage from your missile.
That is the worst you could ever roll.
Literally.
Yep.
Literally the worst.
I really wish I had Empower Spell now.
Okay. Yinkin as a bear.
All right. First with the bite.
Unfortunately, that does not hit. This
Next
doesn't
with the
get to his armor.
claws.
Also does not hit.
And that's my
Okay. Faith.
turn.
All right. Bonus action.
Okay. Heat metal.
Yep. And primary action.
That does hit. Seems to
13
move
damage.
move between the plates. Yeah. All right. Gabriel flying in the air.
Yeah, I just try to blast them again. Magic missile.
Uh,
16.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that slams into him. Seems to do quite a bit of damage, but he's still there. Tahira is next. She's going to shoot her bow. God damn it!
He's on a roll.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. 10. So plus I know Colossus. God damn it. You guys aren't going to see NPCs for a while. 10, 18. Okay, so same as before. Oh wait, so that's 10, 8. Oh, okay, yeah. Oops. You see as her arrow slams into, and it seems to pierce the armor. And once more, you see the body just stutters. And this time, an elven woman body just slumps out and slams into the ground. She appears to be dead and withered. The body kind of stutters again. And this time, all you're seeing is a knight in red.
Nice.
And now it is the Alcide, it is Aglaea's turn. She is going to short bow it. Fucking A. Does a little bit of damage. Yeah, minus that. Okay. Now it is the horseman's turn. And it is going to... What is it going to do? Ooh, I wonder if I can use that. This is probably not in the SRD. Oh, it is. Let me do one thing first. This will determine what it does, actually. No? All right. So... Oh, that would be so dick. Hold on, let me... Sorry.
Yeah, no dick moves.
I mean, you already killed a black guy, so... it's going to cast a spell on itself. Yeah. It's going to cast a spell on itself. It seems to cast a spell. You see something happen, a shimmering of the air, but that's all it does, and you don't know what happens. God damn it. But Marcus, it's your turn. Oh, and now that we're back at the top of the round, underneath you, Marcus, and Faith, since you're standing there, you're hearing this mewling growing louder. You're hearing the moans growing louder. You're hearing the yelling of these voices, and you're starting to feel something that's got to be pretty strong pushing against the trapdoor violently enough that it's starting to kind of bounce under your paws. It's got to be pretty strong to do that.
Yeah, with all three of us on top of it.
Barry Inkin is being moved.
It's. I mean, the whole trapdoor isn't moving yet, but something is trying to get up. So that's just a little bit of flavor for you, Marcus. It is your turn.
It's a good thing they probably can't kick the trapdoor very easily.
Yeah.
Inkin is trying to say, guys, it's coming out as.
We know. One thing at a time.
I will. My melee attacks have going that well. I'm going to do another Eldritch Blast.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, that just does not do anything. Anything else your turn?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Giselle?
I am going to Ray of Frost him.
Okay.
Or them.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. Your Ray of Frost like hits the shield and just has no effect. Seems to have no effect.
Wait, how is it using a shield with a lance?
Dual shield.
Lance is two-handed.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whatever.
It's only one-handed on when you're riding a weapon.
Either way, it
Or
wouldn't
riding a
wouldn't
horse.
it wouldn't hit anyway. Like even without the shield,
Alright.
you're not gonna hit
Yeah,
it.
just to realize that.
Okay.
Riding a weapon.
Yinkin.
Claws first this time.
Okay. Nope.
Nope. And bite.
Nope. Faith.
Yeah, let's try this again. Burn, motherfucker, burn.
Okay. Takes a little bit of damage.
And where the fuck is that thing? Twink.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, just bounces off the armor. Gabriel.
Yep.
It's been working so well to this point.
Okay. 14. Is that right?
Yes. 10 force and 4 radiant.
All right. Yeah. So your missile slam into him does him a good bit of damage, but unfortunately, it does not drop him. Tahira is next. I swear to God, if this bitch crits again, thank you. Yeah. So she actually misses twice. Gets a little overconfident.
Getting shooken by hearing the things, seeing the thing move.
Yeah. Aglaya also misses. It is now the horseman's turn, and it's gonna pick up its shield again and pick up its longsword. And do I have the right thing? Yeah. Okay. And it's gonna Control V, Control V, Control V. Okay. The first one is against Tahira, and then Gabriel and Marcus. Can it hit Gabriel with a longsword? I feel like no, because you're flying, right?
It depends on how high you would have allowed me to fly.
Well, because even if you're 15 feet, I mean, a sword can't reach that high, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's just going to default to Marcus. So, Tahira's first. Oh, hold on. I got to roll my thing that hasn't recharged yet. Yes, it recharges. So, the first attack is just going to be a longsword attack. And God, Jesus Christ. So, 16.
Oh, you still at disadvantage.
Still at disadvantage from,
He's still at disadvantage from heat metal.
All right.
but he still hits.
Yeah, so she's pretty bloody at this point. And the second two are against Marcus. Longsword. Does that hit?
It's
I'm gonna use cutting words.
Okay.
Your mother's ugly folk turn into stone just in case they might happen to catch a glimpse of her face.
No. If you start reading jokes, I'm gonna kick you. Like I'm just no. So
Would you rather the shit that I've been doing so far?
yes, because at least you stammering is now I'm stammering is yeah no. So what do you roll?
Technically, it's cutting words, so hey, ugly. So it's just a distraction. I don't have to insult him. So
Okay. What do you roll to
I
1d4?
roll a d6, and it takes from his
Is it really a d6?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, roll it.
Because it's yeah.
Okay, so it actually misses you. It gets distracted by that. It does get one last attack though.
Yeah.
Longsword, please.
That
18.
hits.
And it's going to do a longsword, and you take 9 slashing. And it's also, you need to make a con save.
Okay, can I use inspiration on the con save?
Is there a reason you
I think so.
wouldn't
No.
be able to?
I mean, I just
Ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Okay,
Yes, you can.
cool. So
I don't think it's gonna
Oh,
help.
Wow.
I'll
Oh boy.
probably use it anyway because I'm probably not going to get a chance if I don't. What d6?
D6.
5. Does a 5 make it?
What is your age, Marcus?
Marcus doesn't know, but early 20s.
You age by 26 years.
Oh,
Holy
Instantly.
shit!
Marcus is a half elf, right?
yeah. I would
Yep,
say
I'm a
at least you're something like that.
Half elves only live to like 100 though. Like
I think
thought
it's
they
like-
lived to
it's like 100.
Oh, it's like
150.
200 or something.
Yeah, it's like it's between 150 and 180, I think. 180 is typically but I mean it's noticeable by everyone. Marcus just aged considerably.
Damn, son.
what?
Happy birthday.
Yeah, 180.
Yeah.
How many?
180 and up.
180. Okay.
Wow.
Marcus, it's now your turn.
Oh,
Old
why do
man.
my joints hurt so bad.
He just
Age.
he just went from being Marcus to Reginald.
All right. Well, I'm gonna hit him back.
Okay. Unfortunately, 16 does not hit. Oh shit. That's fine. I forgot. It's my bad.
I'm not gonna hit either. So.
I gotta mark him with a thingy here. Okay, we'll give him that. Okay, is that your whole action?
Yep.
Giselle.
All right. Since I can't seem to hit with Ray of Frost, I'm gonna try and hit with Magic Missile at a higher level.
So 13?
Yep.
Okay. That does a good bit of damage.
Kabam.
Yinkin.
Bite!
Nope.
Claw!
Nope.
That's back to the trapdoor.
This guy's AC is fucking ridiculous.
Faith.
If he's in plate, full plate.
Full plate plus a shield.
Who?
I can't have his shield though if he's got his lance.
He
No,
put his
he's not
lance
got
down.
his lance.
Longsword.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a longsword.
Can I do 2 spells if I'm concentrating on that as a bonus action?
I don't think so.
It's still your bonus action, so you'd only have an action left.
Yeah, but can I do an action as a spell essentially?
Yeah, I think so. Because
I think it
Using
has
the
to be. I think it
concentrated
has to be a
effect.
cantrip, doesn't it?
no, because I think using the concentrated effect doesn't.
So I'm not recasting it. I'm just making sure I hold the focus. Your call. You're as DM.
Well, there's got to be a ruling on this somewhere. Casting another spell that requires concentration, so that's not what we want. If a spell must be maintained, normal activity such as moving or attacking doesn't interfere with concentration. I mean, attacking with a spell is so. I think you can, because attacking is the same thing as casting a spell. I think, or close to.
All right. So dissonant wisdom. Whispers.
Okay. Oops, I closed my thingy. What does he roll? Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Yeah. He actually gets no, so he fails.
So 20 damage total.
Close. All right, Gabriel.
Oh, brother.
Oh yeah, Distant Whispers has another effect. I gotta put the spell cards into these. Must make a on a failed save. If available, to move as far as speeds allow away from me.
Okay.
So he has to run. On currently, not on his turn.
Okay. So yeah, he'll move away from you. He'll still be within range of other people, but just not you.
But Yinkin and Marcus are right near.
Yeah,
me?
that's
He has to move his entire movement. He can go out the door.
okay. I mean, is that what you want? You want him to run away?
That's what he has to do on his turn. It gives everybody an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
No, it's immediately, right now. He goes.
Okay. So
Oh,
so he runs. He runs because nope.
Damn it!
He ran so far away.
Damn.
Also no. Gabriel, your turn.
I guess this is gonna go into his back. Blam.
Okay. 14. So, what happens is as he is beginning to flee, Gabriel slams him in the back, and his body drops, and as his body slams into the ground, you see what's left is what appears at first glance to be an elven child, maybe 9 or 10 years old, slams into the ground. And the night appears to be dealt with. The night is long, full of no, never mind. So yeah, the body falls. The night is gone. You're still Yinkin. This trapdoor is being pushed up against you. Something under there wants out. And why don't we take our break? Because Sean really has to pee.
Perfect.
So do I. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's
Be right
real
back.
bad. All right, we'll take about 10 minutes. Is that all? Just the two of us?
Oh, Jason's here. He's just not paying attention.
I am not.
Okay. Well, we'll wait until everyone else returns. Mel, what day are you playing your game?
Thursdays.
Wow, that's a weird choice.
Well, I play Friday, Saturday, and Sunday already.
Oh,
And Fridays at work are generally pretty casual, so if I stay up late, nobody cares if I'm a little wrecked.
okay.
I'm back.
I work for the government. Fridays are like nothing.
I'm pretty sure that's, if you work for the government, that's every day, but, you know.
Well, Fridays are especially like nobody gives a fuck. I
And-
literally spent most of Friday playing Candy Crush on my phone and writing in my plot book for my game.
I mean, at least it's a challenge to do less work on Fridays than you do the rest of the week.
No,
Nope.
she usually busts her ass.
I'm a secretary for 26 different offices. So,
Oh, so you're the only one that works.
well, no, there's like a dozen of us, but I am one of maybe 4 that actually work on a regular basis, not including our boss.
I think the only one we're waiting for is Gwen.
Hopefully, she didn't fall asleep on us.
Well, give her a minute and see if she...
I've also realized that we survived, and now Faith has to explain why she slapped Marcus on the ass.
Or you just pin it off on Yinkin.
Yeah, act like nothing happened. I'm sorry, what?
It could have been him.
I'm gonna say, Yinkin, I thought you were married, and really, I mean, I'm flattered, but you're really not my type. Like,
It was the tiefling.
So wait, what you're saying, Marcus, I just want to be clear here, is that you're not interested in a bear?
yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Wow.
Well, he's aged like 40 something, so he might be the bear now.
Also true. I mean, if he got very hairy, that's entirely possible.
This
Yeah.
this is where I kind of say the whole situation got a little hairy, but
Nah, boo.
See, my wits are only about me when I'm not in the moment, which is terrible. It sucks.
I think. So do I age like? Same way like I would like hair would grow and all that stuff. So I think I'd probably have a beard then. Because I think half elves can grow. Not a great beard.
Yeah, I
like
was
a
gonna
huge
say, yeah,
dwarven
they
beard
can't.
or
I don't
anything.
think they can grow like great beards because you are somewhat human, but elves traditionally aren't able
Yeah.
to. So it would be like a scraggly. It would be a nice beard for an elf.
I think
like a
that's
shit
what I was thinking.
beard.
Like it'd be like a shitty beard, but 26 years of it. So it's like, someone who can grow like a shitty beard. It might be like 1 year of their beard, but like a regular human's.
Yeah.
For the record, Tannis Half Elven from Dragonlance disagrees. He went full beard. the
Yeah, he
entire
went-
time.
yeah,
He had an amazing
That's
beard.
that's what I was thinking of actually when I was thinking of the bearded half elves.
Oh dear, you need a haircut.
Did someone post this? I don't know what this is.
Oh, it's from the
Tannis-
Dragonlance
Dragonlance.
novels.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's like red hair, big red beard.
All right. Well, we'll get started. Hopefully, Gwen comes to consciousness. And yeah. All right. So, did I unmute? I did. Okay. So, yeah, you guys seem to have dealt with the night. Yinkin, you're feeling this violent.
Beat me by a heartbeat, Conrad.
Yeah, I have the same image up right now.
You're feeling this violent something underneath you pushing up on the trapdoor, and you're hearing quite a commotion coming from underneath there, and beyond the trapdoor. So what are you guys doing? I think we're gonna leave it in initial. Well,
We've been hearing what could be counted as like sounds of suffering down there, as well as
it could be, yeah.
so I think
it sounds a lot. A lot of what you're hearing sounds more like fear like the kind of moans and cries of
Okay.
people that are afraid. But yeah, I mean, suffering could be counted among the sounds you're hearing.
First of all, get off the trapdoor.
Yeah, we should probably deal with them soon.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll stay on the trapdoor until everybody preps. Again, when they come out, I want everybody hitting them, but I can't really articulate this as
Well-
bear.
Oh, yeah, good idea. Who?
I
And real
can't
quick-
do to him what I did last time without dropping my spell on the crow. So
If we have a couple rounds, who got really fucked up by the knight?
yeah, is
One of
anyone
the
really hurt?
NPCs.
I'm
and
fine.
You.
Yeah, Tahira's pretty busted up.
Okay. You save yours, Marcus.
Well,
I
I'll
can-
give her one healing light because I got those just
God damn it.
not often, not much. So she gets 4.
11.
I'll do a healing light on myself too.
Okay.
I get 8.
All right.
Back.
So, are you guys like resetting basically?
So the way it sounds, we're all gonna kind of surround the trapdoor. I'm assuming this is kind of one of those things he can pull up with one of his bear paws.
Probably not. I think it would require more dexterity than that.
So why don't
Just-
myself or Giselle stand behind it, ready to open it, while y'all just wait for whatever's popping? That just sounded really weird. Yes, no, maybe.
I don't think we have to. I think they'll be able to open it as soon as he moves off. So,
Yeah.
But if they don't, then yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I'll have my hand crossbow ready then.
Okay. So we'll reset initiative. Give me a moment here though. I'm gonna clear the initiative order. Yeah, I don't think we'll roll just yet. So you, excuse me. So Yinkin, you step off of the trapdoor.
Once everybody's in position, yeah, I will step off of the trapdoor and prep to hit a red cap.
Okay. Yeah, so you step back and there's a moment like you can hear the thudding of the trapdoor as it's trying to push up, and then you step off of it and then it sort of stops suddenly. What was that?
I think Gwen's back.
I think she just woke up. Or she's like, hopefully she didn't fall asleep with her headphones on. So suddenly, as you step back, the trapdoor sort of explodes open, and this large black feline creature emerges, like erupts from underneath, and it looks like there's sort of a blur to it, and you see these large tentacles that emerge from its shoulders, and it emerges out of the trapdoor. So you all have a moment here to try to attack it as it kind of lands. So why don't we go in order here? Yinkin,
Do I get both attacks of multi-attack or only one?
I think just the one.
All right, then claws.
You'll need to roll again. Sorry. I forgot that you don't have... Yeah, so unfortunately, you swipe where you think it is, and you just miss. You just swipe air. Faith, crossbow?
Nope. Thinking.
Didn't you say you had your crossbow out?
I prepped my crossbow. It doesn't mean I can't say something. It's dead. No, that'd be shit.
Good one.
Fuck you. Holy fuck you. Yeah, something like that. Because tentacles and cats.
Sure.
You said I couldn't read anything, and like I kind of wasn't expecting that.
Whoops, what happened? That's not what I wanted.
Mm.
I hit the wrong thing. Da, 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 da. Giving you guys some music. So it makes a wisdom save.
I'm here.
Okay.
Oh, she's
Welcome back.
awake.
So yeah, it does take 1 damage.
And it has disadvantage on its attack.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out if that ends its displacement or not. I don't think it does. I'm not sure. If it is hit by an attack, is that technically an attack?
Yeah, it's an attack action, so I don't see why it wouldn't be.
I think it's a spell, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I think. I think mechanically it's different.
Okay.
Like, I think it has to be hit by an actual.
I think it requires an attack roll.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Or even if it were a spell with an attack roll.
All right. So, but Gabriel, it does hit. It does take damage, but Gabriel, you're up.
My eyes should still be glowing.
Yes. Yeah. You still have. How long does that last? A minute?
Yeah.
Okay. Unfortunately, yeah, 10 does not hit.
That's gonna end my turn.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, I'm reading something. So Vicious Mockery only gives it disadvantage on its. I see. That was never mind. I got it. Okay.
Yeah, on its first attack swipe.
Yeah, no, I got it. Marcus.
Quarterstaff.
That hits. Or no, you have to roll again. Sorry, you're at disadvantage.
Oh, okay.
That actually does hit, just barely. 10. Nice. Okay, so it takes 10 damage. Okay, anything else your turn? Or no, this is surprise.
No, it's yeah.
Giselle.
I'm just gonna have to hit it with cantrips because I don't have any spell slots left.
Oh, nice. Okay. You're actually not at disadvantage after Marcus hits it. Nice. It actually
Nice.
slows it too. Okay. So now the thing has erupted.
What are we fighting, by the way?
A big black feline-looking creature with tentacles on its back.
Cat Thulu?
Yep. Also named Steve.
Oh.
So yeah, so it erupts, and it's now facing off against you, and the trapdoor is open. And you start to hear, and it's louder now because there's not a sound barrier. You're hearing moaning and crying and wailing coming from downstairs. And that's going to be initiative. Oh, I already opened that. I don't know why I did that. Jesus. Crit here. You crit. I crit failed. And then we'll do this. Okay.
Oh, crap. I didn't have my token selected. Hang on.
All right, so Gabriel, still glowing with wings. What do you do?
I have 21, by the way.
Well,
No, stop. Hang on. My initiative's fucked up.
what the
What
fuck?
the hell is
Yeah,
that?
what? I kept.
Hello?
I think John's having issues.
What?
Okay, there we go.
Or John's just being a
Weirdo.
John.
What are you talking about?
Your tone says it all, dude. We know you well enough by now.
All right, Gabriel, you're up.
I'm just gonna chuck another fire. That's gonna miss too.
No, that hits. It is John. Bitch. What did you get like a voice modulator?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
You're such a liar.
So
Sure.
full of shit.
All right, Giselle.
We can
All
watch
right.
your little light pop up in Discord.
That's so gross. That's so gross. Oh God. Uh,
Oh, God.
Firebolt also hit. Oh, no, I'm gonna mute you in Discord if you keep that shit up. No
Oh,
joke.
my God.
Faith.
Your mother was a house cat and your father was a fish? Squid? Maybe? I don't know. I didn't read that one. I actually made that one up.
I feel like he should have advantage just because that was so bad. But yeah,
Yeah, fuck you.
so he takes 1 damage.
More disadvantage.
Marcus.
All right. I will. Oh, nice.
Good
Or
hit.
is he? Is it disadvantage or no?
No, because
He hasn't got his thing back up yet.
right, yeah, it hasn't been, yeah. Because I think he can only do that on his. I don't even know. When does he?
Then, bonus action on arm strike. Oh.
Nice. Yeah, the end of its next turn, so no. So it takes 17 damage. It's a great hit, great hit. And obviously the unarmed strike does not hit. At this point, the red caps emerge from whatever's down there, from the basement or whatever you want to call it. They're going to emerge, and each of them is going to take their action to run at one of you.
Do they have enough?
Actually, no, they don't. You're right. They don't. Not yet, anyway. They will next turn. Well,
And is the room
They
even
can't.
big enough for them to? I don't know how much they have to charge to do that kick.
Like- Silly question. Now that the chapter is open, is it a ladder or stairs?
it is a it's a sturdy ladder.
Like a staircase ladder.
Yeah.
And we're surrounding it, so I don't think they can really get through to build up a charge.
Okay, but they can still move a couple feet to hit a couple of you. They do have sickles,
Yeah, definitely that.
which is not
Yeah,
as
no,
bad
that
as
I agree
is
with.
definitely not as bad as their boots, which is a shame. Let's see who. The first one, and they each get 2 attacks. The first one is going to go after Marcus.
All right.
Sorry, dog screaming. And the second one is going to go. Gabriel, are you still flying?
I should be.
Okay. The second one, I'll just roll. I don't know. He's going to go after Yinkin. Poor Yinkin and Marcus. You guys are just like the brunt. I don't know. So the first 2 against Marcus. The first one crits with a 26. And you take 13 slashing. And the second one misses entirely for you, Marcus.
All right.
Yinkin crit fails. And then 18.
Definitely hits the bear.
Okay. It's 9 slashing damage for you.
All right, so I'm dropped out of bear form.
Okay. Next, Yinkin, you're up.
Displacer Beast is not gone. I am shillelaghing and hitting it.
That hits. Takes 5 bludgeoning. Anything else your turn?
That is unfortunately everything.
Jesus, it rolled a 3 on its initiative. The next one of you rolled a 12. God, how did it roll that badly? So it gets 2 attacks with its tentacles, which I know are the one is at disadvantage. I think it's going to attack you, Yinkin. At disadvantage, it rolled a 22.
Yep.
You take 5 bludgeoning plus 3 piercing. And I'm going to roll to see who else it hits. Giselle.
Oh no.
It also rolled a 22.
Yeah,
25, actually, but you
I have
take
no spell slots to shield either.
you take 9 bludgeoning plus 5 piercing.
Ow, motherfucker.
Gabriel.
Okay, so the cat is still there, and then the 2 caps are fighting from behind it. Is that what's happening here?
Yeah, they're very close to it, but yes. Because they're small creatures, I believe we established, so.
Is that cat shimmering again?
It
or-
is now, yes.
All right. So I'm gonna target, I guess, the closest cap to me. I'm gonna scorching ray this thing.
Sure. Yeah, that definitely hits. Yeah, the first and third hit. So, 12 plus 11, 23.
Yeah, it's 15 fire and 8 radiant damage.
They have no resistances, so it takes 23 total. Yeah, great hit. Yeah, so it starts to light up. It's pretty wounded. I don't think there's anything else your turn, Giselle.
Out of those spell slots.
I'm gonna try and fireball this thing that's hitting me.
The Displacer Beast?
Yeah.
17 still hits, so you do 9 damage.
Nice.
Okay, so you hit it and it stops shimmering. Anything else your turn? Don't think.
Nope.
Faith.
You're gonna make a lovely cloak when we're done with you.
Better. Much better. Wisdom
Choice is good.
save. He saves. Crit saved.
Alright, damn.
Does he take any damage?
No.
Okay. Marcus.
Bonus action, I will inspire Marcus because he's next.
How are you going to inspire him?
You walk right up and punch that cat in the face. I was doing so well. God damn it.
10 out of
Boring.
10, best bard ever.
Boring. Marcus.
Fuck you.
All right. So
Marcus, you feel suddenly drained of inspiration.
You made her spew coffee.
Well, I was gonna attack the cat. Now I just don't feel like it. Quarterstaff against.
Okay, I'm gonna
Displacer
stick with the
Beast.
ass slaps then. Damn.
All right. Yeah, that definitely hits.
In the reach rounds.
9. Good.
And then bonus action unarmed strike. Displacer Beast again.
Unfortunately, that one misses.
Well, all right, I'll use inspiration on that, which I think if a 13 hit before,
It
I'll do
automatically
it.
succeeds, yeah.
so
Another 6.
Yahtzee.
Nice. Damn it, John.
I punch it right in the face.
Okay, so you punch the cat in the face.
Yay!
Pause while
Just
Sean
poor
makes
kitty.
a really bad joke in Discord. Okay, red caps are up. Still pissed. The first one is going to come after you again, Marcus. He's not happy with you. And the second one's going to go after Faith. That is not the thing I wanted. So red cap after Marcus. Sickle. 20.
Yep.
10 slashing.
Okay.
Second one hits with a 22.
damn.
11 slashing.
Okay, I'm unconscious.
Okay, and then the second one is going to go after Faith. 18.
That'll hit.
11 slashing. 19.
Hang on. Off the first one, it's gonna take 20 fire damage, and I'm gonna get a shield of fire around me. So the second one still hits, and it's gonna take some additional fire damage.
Okay, so yeah, but you took 11, and then it hit you again with 19. So you take an additional 8.
Okay.
Jesus.
So 19 and 8.
No, 19 total, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 19 total between the two hits. Yeah, that's their turn.
And he takes 24 fire damage.
You mean an additional 4 on top of the 20 you did before?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to say, he doesn't take an additional 24.
No, sorry.
Yankin.
I am really, really rough looking, so I am going to cast Mirror Image on myself. Try and make this a little bit harder.
Okay, is that your action?
Most
You're not-
unfortunately.
You're not a bear anymore. I was just like, oh shit, that'd be cool.
I wish I could, but I can't
Yeah.
spellcast it as a bear until really high level.
Okay.
It's like your level 18 bonus or something. It's like one of those really high up ones.
Something like that. But now there's 4 of me.
Now it's the Displacer Beast's turn. And it's going to... Who's it going to attack? Let's do a roll. Gabriel. It's going to tentacle you.
Can it reach him?
The tentacles have reach. First, 17.
That's a hit.
You take 8 bludgeoning plus 6 piercing. Second attack misses entirely. And now it's your turn.
Seeing as how a lot of people are getting beaten up, I see someone drop. I'm gonna fly in to attack the red cap that I hurt.
I should also, just as a heads, I mean, it's probably not going to matter at this point, but the Displacer Beast is very, very badly wounded.
Okay.
It is blurring again, though.
The red cap that I had hit, that I wounded pretty bad. I'm gonna fly into him. Now with his iron boots, am I gonna get advantage with shocking grasp?
Yes. Yeah. So it takes 6.
6 total.
Okay. Anything else your turn?
No, just kind of trying to position myself between anyone that's wounded or fallen.
Okay.
Hovering above my unconscious body.
And I think at this point, Gabriel, you probably have one more round of your Radiant Soul if it only lasts for a minute. So, just as a heads up. Giselle, you're up.
All right. I'm just gonna keep doing what I was doing and hope I hit. Firebolt the Displacer Beast.
Okay. You do have disadvantage. Oof.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
That is unfortunate. Yeah, your firebolt just slams into the ground of the spire.
I feel like I hit myself in the face with it. It just blows up in my fucking hand.
It's like a cartoon. It just explodes in your face. Your face is all scorched and weird. Faith.
All right. First things first, Marcus went down. So go ahead and take care of that.
Got to take care of Marcus.
While he's going down.
Well, then, you know what? Not going to go there.
So you heal for 7, Marcus. She touched you
Because
for
you gotta
7.
Yeah, anyway, where were we? Oh, yeah. I'm going to try and crossbow the red cap that hit me. Actually, no, because it's in my face. I'm going to... God, freaking... Fine. Fuck you, you fucking fuck! Because he hit me.
Wisdom save. 14. He saves.
Okay, don't care. But... Ow!
Marcus.
Okay, so Displacer Beast is still there.
Yeah, barely.
So Marcus is gonna stand up straight and erect and quarterstaff the cap.
I don't think... Did anybody hit it?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think it's still you're still at disadvantage. 14 does hit, though. That is just enough damage, actually. What does it look like when you drop it?
I just kind of... I think with the... I bring the quarterstaff like up from below and like hit it right in its neck, kind of crushing its windpipe.
Yeah, and you hear it kind of choke and make this like sound, and you see its tentacles just go... God damn it.
Limp.
Yeah, fuck you. Its tentacles go limp, and its body just slumps down to the ground.
This entire episode just Sean and I saying fuck you to each other.
Yeah.
And then I spin around and backhand one of the red caps that's been attacking me.
Nice. That definitely hits. Okay, 4 bludgeoning. Sure. Okay, now it's their turn. And it's pissed off because you're slapping it in the face, so it's going to hit you twice with its sickle. 22 hits.
Yep.
You take 12 slashing.
I'm unconscious again.
And it's going to attack you again.
So I fail 2 death saves.
You fail 2 death saves. The other one is going to... I think it's going to go after you, Faith.
Okay.
2 sickle attacks. 24. God, I'm rolling like gangbusters with these two. You take 8 slashing on the first one. And the second one, it rolls a 14. I don't think that hits.
Cutting words. Can't touch this.
Yeah, I
so
think
yeah, now it misses.
it can't hit you, yeah.
Whew.
Okay, Yinkin, you're up. All of
I
you.
am going to cure wounds Marcus.
Okay.
Mark is just going up and down and up and down.
And that's unfortunately my action.
All right, Gabriel, the 2 red caps are still alive.
The one that I was shocking before is going to keep at it.
14 does actually hit, so you do 5 damage, and that's the end of your Radiant Soul. Okay, Giselle.
Is the Displacer Beast still alive?
No.
Okay, then the next most wounded looking red cap.
Okay.
I'm gonna fireball. Actually, I'm gonna Ray Frost him.
Okay.
In case he tries to run.
13 just hits. He is cold but not dead, almost, just barely.
Good.
Faith.
Already? Okay. Crap. Okay. Seeing as Giselle just did freezing ray. Yeah, dude, take a chill pill.
Okay. I guess I can close that.
And
Wisdom
then-
save. Fails his wisdom save.
So
And-
3.
He is mocked to death.
Nice.
Your mockery is quite lethal.
When it sometimes.
Yeah. Okay, and that's your turn?
Yinkin picked up Marcus, so yeah.
Okay, Marcus.
All right, there's one red cap left,
Mm-hmm.
and is the one that has killed me twice.
That one, that was the one
That one's the one that's went. Okay, so I'm not engaged with the other one.
Right.
So I'll kind of like shuffle back 5 feet before standing up, and then do a sacred flame on the last.
Okay. Dex save. Fails. Takes 5 damage. Still up, though. And I think he's actually going to run at you. Because you killed his friend, and you keep dying and getting up. So it's going to run at you.
If
And
it runs past me, I'd like to swing.
Okay. I'll let you take that attack. Yeah. Go ahead and take it.
Was that the one in front of me? Or is that one dead?
I think that's the one that's dead.
Yeah, because the one. That was
God
in
damn
front.
it!
Wow. Good. That's Merry Christmas, bud. Marcus, make a dex saving throw. Probably not the person I should be throwing dex saves at. That fails.
Oh.
You take a lot of
I'm
damage.
unconscious again.
You really are. I think
If it does more than 31, I'm dead.
it can't. Damn it.
Okay.
You take 22
So,
damage. And it's just like lording over your body. It's got its sickle ready. Yinkin, now you, after missing it entirely.
I run right up after it, so you see 4 of Yinkin just dash to Marcus. All 4 lay their hands on him. I can do this all day.
Gabriel.
Seeing that Marcus is back up again, I'm gonna engage this other one.
That definitely hits. 8 damage.
It's 8 lightning.
Okay. Giselle. Very wounded red cap.
Same thing as before. The last red. I'm just gonna fireball it or Ray Frost it.
That hits. Freezes him. He's still alive. Faith.
Well,
You have an opportunity, Faith.
go Faye!
It worked so well last time. Yeah, dude, take a chill pill.
You can do it, Faye.
It saves.
Of course it does.
Marcus.
Um,
Death save. Or did someone bring you up? I
No,
can't
I
even.
brought him back up.
I can't even keep track of you. You're,
Yeah,
you're
right.
just you're up and down. I can't.
so
Clothes are filthy.
He gets knocked down.
Yeah.
We pick him up again. We're never gonna let him die.
Mel, listen. He's not sleeping in bed tonight. I swear to God, if Jason doesn't sleep on the couch for that joke. Mel.
But he's warm.
God damn it. Oh. All right, Marcus, you're up.
So get back up again. Oh, God, I'm too old for this shit.
It's true.
And then
You're not even
Quarterstaff.
played yet.
And
Miss entirely.
unarmed strike.
Whiff. I think that also misses. Yeah. So, yeah. The red cap is Marcus. He's gonna kill you. If it kills him, he's gonna kill you. Wicked Sickle 1. 11 misses. Second. Crit. With a 26. You take 12 slashing
Read
damage.
all right now, Sean.
What?
Something
Okay,
about
so
slashing damage.
I mean, I heard 12 slashing, so that puts me unconscious again.
Poor guy.
Still can't hear you if you're. I think
Hello?
you're going too robotic.
Hello.
I heard that.
Are we good now?
Mm-hmm.
Can you all hear me?
I can. Can you hear us?
Yeah, some of you are kind of breaking up a little bit, but I can mostly hear you.
You were breaking up for us, so it's.
Yeah.
Well, let me know if it happens again.
So we have no idea what just happened to Marcus.
Well, yeah, he got hit. He got crit. He took 12 slashing damage.
Oh my god, crit.
He's still
Only hit once.
yes, he missed you the first time.
Okay.
He missed with an 11. Yinkin. I like how this red cap's gonna just destroy TPK the party.
But not yet.
Marcus just needs to like wake up and punch him in the nuts and then be done with it.
Gabriel.
I keep doing my thing here. It's advantage, so it's 2 points of lightning.
It is. It's still not enough to kill him. Giselle.
All right, keep on keeping on.
He's been at 8 hit points. That kills him. That Giselle freezes his whole body in place.
Yes.
And then I walk over and I just push him over so he shatters.
And he
On
does.
top of Marcus, and then I take 10 damage.
And Marcus
Damn it!
yeah, Marcus is dead. Sorry, Marcus.
Marcus got healed.
Yeah, Mark
Yeah.
should be.
I know
Yeah, but I'm
he is.
still on the ground. Like I haven't had a chance to stand up yet.
Oh.
So.
No, you're
I go to
fine.
help Marcus up. There's 4 of me offering a hand.
I go, oh shit, I think my vision's messed up.
You're probably seeing like 8 of them.
Or
Okay.
I'm seeing just one because my blurry vision has blurred them all back into one.
Okay, so it seems like your opponents. Yeah, exactly. Or
Wait,
that
were
that
our
crow.
allies not attacking for that entire second fight?
Yeah, our allies haven't attacked since the night.
I know. I thought about it, but I'm like, I don't want to. You guys can handle this. It's fine.
Maybe they couldn't fit in the room. We
Um,
told them to keep an eye out for the dog.
Yeah.
There we go.
Or the
They're doing
crow
something
comes back
useful.
and realizes there's no fish and is pissed off and wants vengeance about it.
Suggest it lasts for 8 hours.
You know, I never rolled a Constitution saving throw for the, when I got hit.
So that makes it even then for no allies.
Oh,
Yeah. All right. Well, that crow's gonna.
Spell is broken.
Yeah. He probably would have gotten at
Oh.
least an hour away, I would think. But
Well, it was
that's
days since the last time we saw water. Was that
it's true.
we found the red caps the last time?
So yeah, you guys have dealt with the enemies that you can see. What do you do?
I'm gonna go over to Marcus with the healer's kit and just make sure everything's okay.
I want ice cream.
Oh, so that wasn't me.
Me too.
Sorry, Mr. Dingling. Yeah.
Okay.
That is genuinely its name too.
Okay. Yeah. So what is everybody doing?
Uh,
You're standing
I'm
in
just
this
gonna-
room. There is broken furniture and detritus. There is this fountain in the center of the room that has what appears to be a crystal ball sitting on top of it. And then there's the trapdoor, and then there is the stairs that head up.
I think
Wow.
with the whining and stuff that was coming from downstairs, I think we knew that that's where they took the captives. That's probably where I would.
I'd follow him.
Okay.
I'm just gonna hang out here, guys, and
I'm gonna look at the crystal ball.
Yeah,
Okay.
you take it easy. I'll work with Giselle on the crystal ball.
Okay.
If Marcus just gonna sit and relax.
Oops. What am I doing? In the wrong book. Okay. So Marcus is going to relax.
I'm
Giselle.
gonna attempt to take a short rest if nothing comes up.
Okay. Giselle and Faith are going to go check out the ball, and then Gabriel and Yinkin are going downstairs. So we will first deal with Yinkin and Gabriel. The two of you open the trapdoor. You see this kind of this semi-ladder structure thing that's been put up. More or less, as soon as you open the door and you begin to head down, you can smell before you see anything. There's a stink. It's a very, let's call it a human stink. But you begin to descend the stairs, and you start to see that this room has been turned into, and it's pretty obvious to you, it was not designed with this purpose, but it's been turned into a makeshift prison, like a holding area. And there are a large number of creatures down here. Specifically, you see in these cells a number of folks that very clearly look elvish. You also see a few, in fact, dryads, some of those goat men, the satyrs that you saw. You see some of these smaller kind of bird cages, like you saw the Redcap walking with, that have these small winged humanoids. You also see in a separate kind of prison off to the side, away from other people, a creature. Let me try to describe this thing for you here before I show you a token. She's female. She's very clearly female. Quite beautiful. Slim, dark skin, very dark black hair. She looks like she hasn't eaten. She hasn't... quite a bit famished, but beautiful. And she is bound and gagged, laying on the floor. And she is in a separate room of the prison. You see a number of elves, ranging from children all the way up, and they are starting to call out to you, like some of them begging, hands on the bars, please, like, let us out, please, 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 just moaning and crying. You see children and what look like women who are probably not the mothers to some of these people, but just clearly, like, some of them are guarded. What do you do?
We're definitely here to save you. I'm going to let you free. Don't run from the tower. Please stay within the confines of the tower. Once I let you go upstairs, stay into the main corridor. You'll see a man resting on the floor. He will keep you safe. But we're trying to secure the area. Don't try to leave yet. Now, are any of these bars, are they like locked or?
Oh yeah, clearly.
All right. Well, I have a little set of tools here that I'd like to try. Ow.
That'll do it. So it doesn't take you long at all to get your thieves' tools out and to start working the lock. As soon as you unlock it, a few people like begin to rush for the door. Why don't you give me a persuasion check to see how well they listen to you? Okay. All right. So a number of them rush for the door, and they begin to clearly like run upstairs. A few of them. Go ahead.
As they're rushing, at least one of those hounds is still out there. Be careful.
Yeah, and so they kind of bolt upstairs. Yeah, the room kind of empties very quickly. You see a couple of these satyrs who, a couple of these creatures look wounded. Specifically, you saw that satyr being dragged in here. You can see that he looks wounded. It's difficult for him to move, to get up. A couple of the other creatures kind of help him, but a lot of them are very weak. They probably haven't eaten or fed in any sort of capacity recently.
Is that the one? Is that satyr? Is that the most injured?
It looks that way, but a lot of them look injured. But he looks the most recently wounded, so it looks worse than the rest.
As they're trying to move him, I'll touch him and give him 4 hit points.
Okay, yeah, and you can see the limp kind of lets up a little bit, and he looks at you and with still like a bruised face, and you can see the bruises around the horns and everything. And he just gives you this kind of, as much energy as he can muster, like a small smile and a nod. And one of his brethren kind of helps him up the stairs. And the rest of you kind of see this as these people are starting to come up. Meanwhile, and we'll get to that other person, because that other person's in a different cell, that other woman that you saw. We'll deal with that in a moment. Giselle and Faith, you go over to the crystal ball that sits in this fountain. What are you doing? Hello?
I want to see if I can figure out what it's for.
Okay.
And again, I'll just assist. She'll know more about it, but I do have some base arcane knowledge.
Okay. I feel like this is probably an Arcana check. Am I breaking up?
Yep. No, you're not.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you'll make an Arcana check here with advantage from.
Oh,
Faith.
thank God.
Okay.
Thank God for advantage.
Okay. So you begin to explore this crystal ball. It's larger than anything that you would expect a crystal ball to look like. I don't know if you've ever seen one. I can't imagine you would. If they would find that in Bastion, you would have been like executed pretty much immediately. It's definitely larger than what you would have expected. It's radiating magic. It seems quite powerful. It's difficult to tell. I mean, you can reasonably assess a crystal ball would be used for, what it could be used for.
Divination.
As you're studying it, though, you start to hear a kind of gentle humming. It doesn't take you very long to realize that it's inside your head. And you hear a woman's voice inside your mind. Well, hail, good night.
All right. No.
I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Oh.
You are paralyzed instantly.
Oh, shit.
Faith, you see Giselle suddenly, her whole body goes completely stiff. And she's just staring. Your eyes are wide open, staring into this crystal ball. Faith, what do you do?
So she's still able to stand. It's not like she's fallen over like a board, right?
Nope.
All right,
She seems transfixed.
If I can tell that much, I'm going over and I'm covering her eyes and pulling her back from the crystal ball.
Okay. So you cover her eyes. Giselle, you're still hearing this voice inside your mind. You
Can I reply to it?
wish for knowledge, do you not?
Yes.
I have these things to offer you.
Can I?
She's not speaking out loud. She's still paralyzed. And the voice
Giselle.
says to you, Giselle, in your mind, are you prepared to sacrifice?
Giselle. I want to smack her.
Yes.
Good. Good. Take it, child. Be my servant. And you kind of feel as your hands come free, like your body's still pretty stiff, but you can move your arms. And the implication here is that you need to grab the crystal ball.
I
Faith,
grabbed the crystal ball.
Faith, you can try to fight her. You can try to stop this.
Well, I've already pulled her back away from it. So
Well, you're trying to do that, but like for whatever reason, it feels like there's a pulling force. So I'll need you to roll me probably a athletics check.
Not acrobatics. Okay.
No,
Oh,
because
it's
you're
gonna be
physically
terrible.
having to use strength to pull her away. Giselle, make me I guess athletics. So,
Just barely.
Marcus.
and Marcus, you're starting to see all these people these creatures running upstairs. Some of them are looking around frantic. Just profound, just all these folks, and some of them look weak and wounded. Giselle, your hands start to reach and begin to touch the crystal ball. Like your fingertips begin to touch the edges of it.
Marcus, help! Don't let her touch the thing. Something's wrong.
I mean, seeing and hearing that, I'll make moves to go towards them, but I'm sure.
I
I'm
also
not gonna
want to
get there in time,
wrap.
So
I want to see if I can use my tail to wrap around her ankles and trip her.
Do I feel like I'm being attacked?
By Faith?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's attacking. She's trying to stop you, though. She's trying to prevent you from something you might want.
Mm-hmm. Can I hypnotic gaze her to leave me alone?
I'm behind you.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. All you need is to hear me.
That's weird. Okay.
Yeah, it is weird. Is that really how it's written?
Yep.
It's literally called gaze. No, it says choose the school yourself words and enchanting gaze. You have to be able to see her.
Or you can see or hear you. Or not
See
and.
or hear.
That's dumb. All right, well, yeah, you can do it to Faith, I guess.
My DC's 14.
You can gaze Faith.
Actually,
I'm
is one
incapacitated.
creature. It's just
I
the
guess that
creature
means
doesn't need to see Giselle.
Wait, what?
Like, the text reads, choose one creature that you can see within 5 feet of you, and the target only needs to be able to see or hear you. So
Yeah,
the
that
target
you
is
can
affected.
see. You're right.
Yeah.
So, okay, we're good. Never mind.
So she'd have to turn to look at you.
Yeah, and Giselle, you can't turn because the crystal ball is the only thing that you can you can feel someone trying to pull you away from it, but you can't turn because the ball is just too enticing. But your fingers do start to kind of stroke the ball. Oh God, and
Broken it.
you guys just want to we'll just end the game here. I'll pick up next week, or I guess we won't.
It's International Tabletop Day.
So
We have to keep going.
I don't know that that's a thing. So yeah, you hear the voice in your mind, and it's just beckoning. It's so smooth and soft, and she says, "Just a little closer, child. I'll give you everything you want. Please. Do you not want this?"
Of course I do.
Marcus, something is wrong.
Yeah.
Help!
If
I'll need
there has
you
been
to
enough time-
real quick. I'll let you react, Marcus, but I'm gonna have Giselle do one thing. Are you, Giselle? Are you not fighting this at all?
No, not at all.
All right, so Marcus, you
It
see
offered her information and knowledge. She doesn't.
she's starting to. Giselle's hands are starting because she did technically roll better than Faith, but not by a lot, and her fingers are starting to kind of like. She's starting to push, and she's just breaking out of Faith's grip, and her hands are starting to wrap around the crystal ball. What are you doing, Marcus?
Does the crystal ball look like it's mounted on on
No,
the thing, or is it just resting on something?
it's just it's like it's quite literally just sitting in what was a fountain, like a. I'm thinking here of like a. I'm sure there's a word for it, but like in church they have that. It's not a fountain. It's like a. What do you?
Pedestal?
No, like it's a thing where you have like fresh water where people could like clean their fingers or like to grab a drink, but it's not like a fountain where like water's pouring. And the crystal ball is just resting in it.
And I'll try and hit the crystal ball away from Giselle then. Try and knock it out of her grasp or knock it off of wherever it's resting.
Oh, how are you?
Reservoir?
A what?
Reservoir?
I don't know if that's the word.
Okay.
Are you like trying to use your quarterstaff to actually hit it out of the thing?
Yep.
All right.
Run in and golf swing it if it's down low, or t-ball swing it if it's.
I'll need you to make me, I guess, an attack roll with your quarterstaff. Yeah, so your quarterstaff hits the top of it and just sort of like slides right over. Like you just hit it wrong, basically. And it just sort of rolls for a moment in the fountain and just stays in place.
And then I snatch it up.
Yeah, you put your hands completely on it at this point.
Can I try and pull her back again? Another strength contested.
You could try, yeah. Make a athletics check, and Giselle, if you want to make it a contested strength check. So this time, you Faith, find your strength with Marcus's help. You see her. You're holding her basically in place. Your fingers start to slip away from the crystal ball, but they're still touching it. Right? It's not like a violent thing where she just yanks you away from it. But Faith is pulling you away slowly, and your fingers are starting to pull away from it.
Let go of me, Faith.
Yeah, and Giselle, you start to hear a servant of mine can't be weak, child. Fight them off. Put them down. I have much to show you.
Should I kill them?
There is always a price to pay for that which we seek.
That's not an answer. That's a politician's answer.
You would understand this better if you had the knowledge I offer you. Do you
So
not-
give it to me. Gimme.
Give me that knowledge. Give it to me.
Gimme.
And as your fingers
You
are
don't
slipping,
get nothing.
as your fingers are slipping away, Marcus and Faith, you start to see that as her fingers are touching the crystal, it looks as though her hands are. For a moment, it looks like an illusion, but it doesn't take you long to realize it's not. Her hands look like they're almost turning into gauntlets. Into
Oh fuck.
shit.
into
Yeah.
black gauntlets that are starting to creep up her arms. And Giselle, like you feel warm and welcomed.
Marcus, I don't care if you hit me too. Knock her out. No, just do it.
Oh, I love it.
I'm trying to decide if I should just tackle her or if I should make a quarter step. I think I'll try and
You're running out of time.
yeah, I'll just help with what Faith is doing and try and like knock her down or do a shove/grapple attack.
Okay, so you'll have to actually attack her.
I think it's just like athletics, imposed athletics again.
But
Wait.
you should have advantage because I've already got her grappled, right?
Hold
Oh,
on.
no,
let's
you're
see.
not attacking.
Jesus. What we decided what it was called. What is it called? It's not shove or push, right? It's in the SRD. It's called
think-
something. Oh, it's shoving. Shoving a creature. Using the attack
Shoving.
action, either knock it prone or push it away. If you're able to make multiple attacks with the attack action, this attack replaces one of them. So you make a strength athletics check contested by the target's strength athletics or dexterity acrobatics.
All right,
Does
so
me
yeah.
already holding her to a similar goal do anything to the effect?
Well, see, this is
Improved
kind of
damage.
weird because are you...
Well, Faith should technically have Giselle grappled, and I think grapple
True.
gives you disadvantage on ability checks or dexterity.
I think grapple normally gives somebody advantage.
Or-
The weird thing here is like if you're trying to push someone that's grappled, so she's attached to Faith. So Faith would either have to pull back as you're doing that, which technically she's already doing.
That's essentially what I said. I don't care if you knock,
Yeah.
if you hit me too. Just do something.
And if I might end up knocking both of them down, but
Then you're just
That's
on
my-
top. No
yeah.
big deal.
that's my goal.
Okay. Yeah. So make opposed athletics. Giselle, you can either make athletics or acrobatics, but you make yours at disadvantage.
Actually, that's not how grappled works. The grappled creature's speed
Yeah.
becomes 0, and it can't benefit from any bonuses to its speed.
Yeah.
The condition ends if the grappler is incapacitated. The condition also ends if the effect removes the grappled creature from the reach of the grapple.
Yeah.
It doesn't say
So
anything
it's
about.
just, yeah, it's just a straight.
You
Just
still
a
have
straight
to
roll.
20.
Yeah, you still have to make either athletics or acrobatics. So, Marcus just pulls, uses his weight and pushes you away. I think it basically like sort of throws you to the ground a few feet away. Giselle, you can kind of like, or not Giselle, I'm sorry, Faith, you can kind of like fall with her and keep hold of her if you wish.
I'm doing the full I've got at this point, since covering her eyes didn't help, I've kind of got the headlock, legs around tucked into her thighs, and then tails just wrapped around her ankles, like full bind.
Right. And so you hit the
Oh,
ground,
Faith, I didn't know you cared.
and Giselle, you feel like, Marcus, you can see as though her hands are starting to turn into gauntlets. Suddenly, it like starts to bleed away back into her hands, and you can see, Giselle, you feel like a void. Very suddenly, this sharp void, like something has been torn from you, and all three of you, actually everyone in the room, but that's not Gabriel and Yinkin. You hear a sharp snap, like a cracking sound. And Marcus, you can see the crystal ball just like explodes and splits directly down the middle. It's just a sharp crack, and the thing splits into two halves. And Giselle, you still feel this kind of emptiness. It's not like a longing, but it's like it hurts, like this sudden void. And it kind of takes you a moment of reeling to figure out what just happened. And as Faith is grappling you and holding you on the ground, we'll cut back to Gabriel and Yinkin downstairs. You've helped everyone out except for this other creature that seems to be in this other cell, who is, like I said, bound and gagged.
Well, rip you guys.
Is she showing signs of, like, is she conscious?
It's hard to tell.
Okay.
Where are our allies during this?
I think they probably helped other people like up the ladder. They were kind of doing the fireman thing, helping people up and making to get them settled and out of the cells probably. Unless there's something you would have them do.
I just wasn't sure if anybody went downstairs with them to.
Can you do that again? That was very impressive. Opening a door like that.
Oh. Well, I want to call out to her before I open the door.
Yeah, and her eyes kind of open. God, she's beautiful. This lovely brown skin, this flowing kind of lightly curly black hair. She's just gorgeous. And her eyes are open and she's just watching you.
Does this look familiar? I saw a beautiful woman in a pool with dark hair and dark skin.
You did.
We saw a lot of wet naked ladies.
Yeah, but
yeah.
It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, it's theoretically possible, but it's not so much that you look at her and like, oh, that's what she is. Like, she could be, but she might not be.
So, yeah, 20 open the cage.
Oh, yes. Yeah. It takes you a little bit longer than the first one. And as soon as you kind of open the cage, she, like, her body instinctively jerks back away from you. Like, even though she's bound, like, her body kind of jerks back, like she's trying to get away from you.
I hold my hands up, show that I'm unarmed. We're here to help you. Let me untie you. And I'm just slowly moving towards her again with my hands up.
Okay. Yeah, she can't, like, move away from you, like, that far. I mean, the cell's not that big.
Okay. Like when I get to her, is she trying to fight me or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
She looks scared. She's not really sure what your intention is, clearly, but...
I'm going to cut your hands loose. And I take my dagger out and I start to cut it.
Okay. Yeah, she kind of lets you do it. She doesn't fight you.
Okay.
Yeah, and you free your hands.
Remove her gag and that.
And, like, she's just kind of laying there for a moment as you free her hands and you remove the gag from her. And, like, you can tell it looks like she's just trying to read you.
Can you understand me?
Of course I can understand you. What are you?
I'm an Azamar.
Why are you
What are you?
here?
What did you say?
Why are you here?
We're here to help you. We're here to save you.
I mean in the forest. And she looks kind of confused for a moment, like she's trying to sort something out.
a bit of a long
Why don't we get you out of here and we can answer your questions along the way? We're still trying to secure the tower, but I've let the other ones loose. I told them to go upstairs. If you will, I'd like to take you upstairs with us and get you out of the tower.
She kind of nods. And she begins to stand on her own. And unlike the others that you saw, she seems to have more strength in reserve than the rest. And she's able to, without much trouble, stand up on her own two legs. And she kind of like looks at you, Gabriel. And she makes as direct eye contact as she can. And she's a good few inches shorter than you. And she's staring you in the eyes. You will protect these lands. And she sort of waits to see what you say.
We're here to stop the corruption. If protecting the lands is part of that, then that's what we'll do.
You swear this?
I won't stay here. The entire world is corrupt. We do have other goals, other aspirations.
You came here to save this land.
As part of it, yes.
And you swear to save this land.
I swear to try to eliminate the evil that's corrupting the land.
She kind of nods and just sort of like strides past you and heads for the stairs.
And I
And
look at Yinkin like, what?
Yinkin's just kind of like, he was letting you do.
What?
Yinkin talking never ends well. So he just kind of shrugs a little bit. And
So
I'm
they're
actually going to
glad
be
you're doing that.
investigating the cells to see if there's anything in here besides people.
yeah, she kind of like walks, she starts to go up the stairs. Graceful and beautiful. You just see her from behind just walk up the stairs.
To the
And
chaos that is.
yeah, and as the three of you, Gabriel and Yinkin and this creature, head up the stairs into the room, you see Faith grappling Giselle on the floor, Marcus standing next to this crystal ball that is now shattered.
Oh, what is happening up here?
We were gone for 10 minutes.
Giselle looked into the ball and then started to gain black gauntlets and couldn't be dissuaded otherwise. So
Not. The nice lady was gonna tell me some shit off.
Not that nice. And
Did you actually think that you'd get something for free here?
No.
Even I know
Said
better
I'd
than
have to
that.
sacrifice something. I was fine with that.
Then find out what in advance.
there's a reason I haven't let you up yet.
Well,
And as you guys come into the room, you're seeing some of these folk who have stayed behind. Some of them are venturing outside a little bit. But Tahira is with you. Aglaya is with you. And as you come up the stairs in this Yinkin and Gabriel, this woman that came with you, specifically as Aglaya sees her, Aglaya does something you have definitely never seen her do.
You're breaking up again.
Fuck. Better.
Yes.
Hello.
Yep.
Testing. Sibilance. Aglaya begins to do something you've never seen her do, which is that she
Handstand.
effectively
Bows.
she bows. She moves into what you assume to be a penitent position, and she lowers her head. And she just waits. And the woman that you freed, she walks over to Aglaya and puts a hand under her chin and kind of runs her fingers through Aglaea's antlers, which seems oddly intimate. Something that is probably not just done. And Aglaea's whole body kind of shudders for a moment. And she looks up and you see her eyes are almost filled with like, it's sort of tears, but it's also just a reverence. And a number of the other elves have kind of like taken a step back. What do you guys do?
Who's the pretty lady?
No idea. However,
Introduce me to her.
Be my
don't pay
wingman.
her.
She hasn't told us her name yet.
Seeing Giselle seems to be a bit more herself, and knowing that the ball is cracked at this point, I'll let her go and kind of slowly, push her off, get to my feet.
She's really hot.
Time and place, Giselle. Time and place.
You
We're not
gotta
even done here yet.
grab bromance by the balls.
Giselle, are you feeling all right? You're acting
Yes.
more of a child than usual.
You realize I am a child, right?
Yes, and I said more of a child than usual. Occasionally, you actually play at being a grown-up. We have work to get done first.
Hmm?
I'm sorry. We haven't been introduced. Who are you? I'm going to assume, given the reverence here, that you're somebody important, but we can't show proper respect without knowing who and what you are.
No, that's actually in the backyard,
Uh-huh.
from 3 yards over.
Wow, rough.
Wow.
I don't know what's worse, that or the Gwen's bird. So
My bird's been quiet lately.
it has today, yes.
It's been nice today.
But screaming children are particularly annoying.
Yes, they are. So, yeah, she kind of looks around the room, this woman, and she sort of observes the scene, and she's still standing directly next to Aglaea, and Aglaea is, again, still in that penitent position. Tahira's eyes are kind of wide. All the other elves look... Again, there's a hint of fear, but also reverence. And the woman's head kind of cocks, and she looks at you, Faith. Why are you here?
I'll answer your question when you answer mine.
And like you see a number of the elves, like this would be the point where like the audience gasps. And the woman kind of like puts her hand out as if to silence them. Like they are clearly shocked that you would speak like that. I am called Darina.
Well, Tarina, we were here. Hang on one second.
It's like a
Murder
mob of
them.
kids.
Yeah.
It is. It's so loud. I can't.
Yeah, I know. I just had to close the window even though it's 70 out. Where was I? We're here because your plane keeps crossing over into ours, causing several disruptions. Corruption on either side, it would seem. We're here to find the source, and she kind of motions to the tower, and try and correct it.
Good. And she sort of like looks around and she kind of begins to head for the door.
Wait, lady.
Giselle,
She looks at you, Giselle.
I came here because I was told that I would meet the most beautiful woman in all of the plains.
Oh, Christ.
Are you kidding?
Yes?
she's not with us.
And she kind of just looks at you, Giselle. She waits.
I think that's you.
And she kind of just gracefully steps over in your direction. And she puts her hand under your chin, and her skin is so soft. And she kind of strokes your chin. You are corrupted, child.
What?
And just like removes her hand and starts to head for the door.
I mean,
There's
maybe.
still some guards out there we haven't killed. Might not be safe.
She
dog.
trying to say I'm not a
A
virgin?
crow. Giselle, can you think beyond the level of your groin for 10 minutes?
Yes.
I'm
Then
heading up.
do it.
I'm heading upstairs to see if we can disrupt this tower completely. There was something connected to the top part. If these things are actually delivering information, I want it broken completely. While we
That's a
have
good
the
idea.
time.
And the woman starts to leave. And like as she hits the door, she kind of turns back. She says to everybody, "We'll need your help. Soon. Be prepared." And all of the elves like nod, like they're understanding something that hasn't been spoken. And she turns back and she's got her back to you and she's facing out the door. And very quietly she begins to sing. And as she does so, it's just perfect pitch. It's beautiful. She's singing something in what is probably Sylvan, but I don't think any of you speak it. But it sounds elvish, like you can hear the roots in it, and it's gorgeous. It's like abruptly beautiful, in this disaster of a room and this disaster of a scene. It's beautiful, and she just sort of sings a few bars, just a few, and then she stands and waits. And then you can hear through the forest, through the jungle outside, the leaves begin to rustle. You hear a lot of movement. You hear like birds flying. And suddenly, as she's standing there, you see two wolves, fairly large wolves, not dire wolves, but large wolves, just sort of run up to her and sit and begin to lick her fingers. And then two more show up. And then more. And she looks back and looks at all of you, nods, and walks out. And you see that she has like a cavalcade of wolves that are surrounding her as she disappears into the jungle.
Do I have any idea who that was?
You could make me an intelligence history check, maybe?
History sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean there's a great many creatures that are considered fae. There's information about the more common ones. Something like what she is not known to you. Like what you can tell is that the other creatures here revere her. Beyond that, hard to say. And as you kind of look around, you see that Aglaia is still basically in prayer. A number of the elves are starting to like gather themselves.
Well,
What do you
it's
guys?
clear that she's a person of great importance, and I think we certainly did the right thing in letting them free.
Agreed.
But we should still figure out what's in this tower. Like Yinkin said.
Or as Yinkin said, yeah, if we can eliminate its presence completely.
So how are you doing that?
I'm going upstairs to look at this thing while I'm not a spider.
Looking at which thing?
Up the couple of flights of stairs till we get to that little room. It looks like it works functionally like a lighthouse. There was something you said connected to the bottom.
Yes. There was a crystal at the bottom of this sort of mechanism, yes.
Yeah, that's getting smashed.
You're just destroying it?
I don't know another way to disable these things unless someone comes up and stop me.
That's totally fine. Yeah. So you guys from down below hear like the shattering of something, and it takes you a minute to using your staff to just like destroy the thing. It's pretty solid, but you can do it. It just takes a minute or two, and all of you upstairs hear this like sudden sharp shattering sound from something.
Is there actually a door on this place? Like to the tower?
No, like there is a door, but it's been destroyed. Like it was broken off of its hinges.
Okay.
I'd like to start inspecting some of the stuff like the equipment pile that Yinkin mentioned that he saw,
Sure. Yeah.
and like the corpse of the knight. If the armor is
There is no armor anywhere.
okay, so it's just the 3 dead elf corpses.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you could give me an investigation check for the gear, that junk pile that was thrown. Sure. Yeah. So you find there's a number of clothing. There's shoes. There's boots. There's cloaks. A number of the elves here, like I said, they're not really. I mean, they're clothed, but they're not. It's shreds basically.
Could I put 2 and 2 together, and this might be the stuff that was taken off prisoners?
Very probably, but yes. Some of these cloaks and things are quite nice. You do actually find in the pile some bracers. Yeah.
Are there any books, anything like that around?
Do you want some help over there?
Probably.
Shall
on
we
to the
train in
bracers, but-
investigation?
Sure, if you wanna. I mean, I'm just. Looks like it might have belonged to whoever they were holding.
Can I just ritual cast detect magic on the pile?
Yeah, it'll take you 10 minutes, but yeah.
I'll
Okay.
just ritual cast.
All right, so while she's doing that, what is everyone else doing?
Is there any books, anything like that?
Upstairs, there are some leftover books, yeah.
Yeah, I'd do some exploring and find the books, see if there's
Bring me
anything.
back any books?
I'm grabbing that letter I saw on my way back down.
Okay.
I'm rummaging in I don't know a better way to phrase it, the lighthouse keeper's room on the uppermost floor.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd just like to do an investigation of anywhere there's books.
Okay.
Just because Fey lore, something like that.
Okay. Gabriel, what are you doing?
Sorry, muted. I'm probably doing crowd control, keeping everyone organized and calm, making sure that no one is hurt worse than we originally viewed. Working on self-esteem and things like that.
Okay.
Everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. You guys are free.
Okay. All right. Sure. So, Faith, why don't you make me an investigation check? Are you looking for anything specific?
Anything on Fey lore, the tower itself, the realms, things. I'm not looking for magical. I'm looking again. I'm a lord. Lore.
You're a
bard?
lard boar.
Yeah. So just information. Again, she's got a fixation about elves anyway. So this whole like the Fae and everything else, she's just as enraptured as everybody else. She's been quiet about it.
Okay. Yeah.
I can't read any of it.
Yeah. That's it, right? I mean, there's a number of books here. Yeah, and they're all written in Sylvan.
Bring them back.
Anything that looks particularly intricate, I'll bring back down.
Okay.
Anything gold filigree, something like that.
I don't think Marcus knows it yet, but he can read everything.
Okay.
He hasn't read anything since I took that ability, so
Yeah.
like, writing hasn't come up. So
So Yinkin, you destroy the crystal. You grab the letter. Is there anything else you were doing upstairs?
Looking at that one room that was just all by itself at the top, was there like a footlocker or anything like that, or was it just like a bed?
It's pretty much just like a bed and like a little, maybe a little desk, but there was nothing really of value there.
I just look underneath the mattress because that's where I always hid my money back on the farm, and then I make my way down.
Okay. All right, then cutting back, I think to Giselle and Marcus. Giselle, you ritual cast detect magic.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. There's definitely some magic stuff in this pile.
Ooh. I'll sort through it and pick out whatever I can find that's magic.
And
just
as
hand
you're
it off.
doing this, right, you're moving through the pile.
Mhm.
Some of the elves are like waiting to get dressed, and you're like sitting here like doing this, and they're just looking at you like, what are you doing? Like they don't say anything, but they're awkwardly waiting for you to figure out what you're doing.
She completely ignores them.
Okay. Yeah, and Marcus, you can clearly see this too, like that they're just like confused. Yeah, you find some magic stuff. Oops, did I close that? Yeah, I did. I always forget. What exactly does detect magic detect? Don't say magic.
The
I
store,
will really get.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
You can
You learn at
percent
School of
presence,
Magic.
yeah.
And they
Then
glow
you
with
see
the
the
faint aura.
Yeah, so there is a cloak, a pair of boots that glow in there. There is also I said a pair of bracers that seem to be glowing. And there is, like, as you're kind of like rooting through, out of like one of the pockets in one of the cloaks, there is like a stone, just a stone, and it just tumbles to the floor.
Interesting.
I assume I'm probably like standing there like holding the things that
Yeah,
as you
she's
pull
like,
put up this one and you put it in my arms and
yep,
boots.
yep.
All right.
Boo. Oh, pretty stone. That's magic too.
Yinkin comes back downstairs. Why is
Right.
everyone still naked?
I don't know.
Maybe because you're going through their things. As Faith follows Egan. With I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 books in her arms.
We just saved their lives, and you think we deserve a little bit of a reward?
So you're stealing the clothes off the... No.
It's just a pair of boots and a cloak.
We're also going to be continuing to save their homeland, so
We'll use
anything
these
that
for
can
good.
help us, I think.
Sometimes it's better to ask permission first than assume.
Yeah, you
Sometimes
see
it's better to
a
ask
number of
forgiveness.
these captives have like no shoes; they just have bare feet.
I'll take out my old pair of boots because I bought new boots in the Elven Village, and hand those to one of the barefoot people.
Yeah, and it's obvious that they won't fit at all. They're either too
I
big
have
or
the
way too
iron
small.
boots. Will the iron boots fit?
Oh my god.
Just no.
Hey, they're probably clean by now, at least. Maybe.
Yeah, they don't stink anymore.
Can we
I
get out
thought
of
you
here
were
before
giving those to the
reinforcements
boy.
arrive?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, you guys you gather up some stuff, and where are you heading?
I mean, if she'll take us back there, I guess. What's her face's village?
Yeah, Aglaya, can you take
Aglaya?
us back to your glade?
Are you expecting to take everybody with you?
I mean, I would think we'd offer if you have nowhere to go, and or if Aglaya is okay with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we ask Aglaya first?
Yeah, and Aglaya, she still seems entirely beside herself after seeing that woman,
Who was that, Aglaya?
and she just looks at you like you've just said the dumbest thing that anyone could ever say.
Please keep in mind we're not from here.
Sheltered.
She just shakes her head. She says, "We should go."
What?
Yes.
What about the prisoners? Can we take them back to your people?
Yes, that's fine. And she's sort of like saying it robotically, like she's not even considering it. Yes. And she just like looks around and looks at everybody and starts to head for the door.
All right.
Well,
I'm not asking questions.
Yeah, I'll start helping people.
Out of their boots? No, sorry.
Yeah. Wait, no, I want those boots. Let me helping them out with anything if they're injured or if they quickly getting them dressed or whatever. But not with the magic stuff we took. And then,
We are adventurers. You have to be a dick a little bit.
Says the woman who started the game by stealing from a child.
Hey, that's not a. Giselle's a very nice person compared to some of my other ones.
So yeah, so you guys pack up your shit, and Aglaia will begin to lead you back through the jungle to the grove, to her people. And I think we will pick up there. I don't think we're playing next week, but the week after, with you guys returning at the grove, and you can make your next steps, figure out what's next.
Wow, I'm surprised we survived that.
Yeah.
yeah, that was
Night,
rough
that
day for
night,
Marcus.
man, that night plus more red cap.
Yeah, I totally missed the first round of the red cap showing up for some reason.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. All right.
PS man, a delivered Mars maker.
Well, I hope we
Everyone's
don't have
right
to
now.
Fight anything before taking another rest. We're in bad shape.
Yeah, I have no spell slots.
I have no spell slots, no healing.
Yeah, well, that combat worked out pretty well. I'm still a little disappointed more of you didn't drop, but pretty well.
You got me bloodied, under-bloodied.
I have 5 health.
I also have 5 health and used like 4 healing spells on Marcus.
Yeah, and I went down 5 times. So if
Wow.
spread that out.
I mean, apparently you like going down, man. I'm not gonna judge you.
Wow,
Doesn't it work-
Marcus.
Isn't it a mechanic that you take exhaustion after the first? And you be like 3